Uh-oh, no sound. I might have the same hacker Bert's got, guys. Be careful. I guess this is what Phil's most recent show is about. I told you guys we'd go over it tonight. We will. How much Phil paying you? Nothing. I don't know what the fuck you want. Nothing. Retards, dude. $17 zillion doll hairs. Thank you very much. How time flies when you're having fun with Bill. Thank you for the resubscription. I appreciate it. Bert was live. We were trolling Bert for a little bit.
What you think about when you're born into a fire? Let them burn it out. Sell them to the richest buyer. They want to let the world decay.
You're really struggling to spell. Jesus Christ. Must be all the fucking bullshit claims you're making. You can't even spell them out. What the fuck you typing on?
Listen up now, because we're never dropping out. Beat the hours, beat
Where?
the house. The brains are bigger than the doubt.
On every corner?
Never let the truth fade.
I'll wait for some evidence. I can't help it. Nick's a piece of shit too, and Nick's gonna lose his defamation case. Not because of the movie, because of everything else he did outside the movie, but still, a loss is a loss is a loss. Thank you, Dr. J. I lost all my longtime supporters, had to replace them all with bots, apparently. So I appreciate you staying around. I don't know how drunk you are, or maybe you have elephantitis, maybe with your thumbs or something. I don't. We're going to have to put it in English. You can turn off caps lock, too. You'd fail corner, Nick Sufil. What? Uh-oh. Finally legal in the 18 months. Look out. Maybe. I don't guess I've seen everything that Phil said about Nick, but some of the things that Nick said about Phil are definitely not defendable in court. And currently Nick is not suing Phil. Phil is suing Nick. Nick would have to file a lawsuit, and maybe, hope so. Hope they destroy each other. I don't know what to tell you. That's the music, boys. What the fuck is wrong with you? Jesus Christ. Here we go.
Hey Daddies, it's me, the Linda Binda from TikTok. I wanted to make this video because I wanted to thank you for watching Cold Beer Confessionals with Will Bird. I think that's just incredible. I've watched a few episodes and I'm just like very intrigued. But you know what I'm most intrigued in is Big Daddy's meat stick. I heard that it's very thick, like a good old German sausage.
It's like talking to a brick wall that supports
Linda
Trump.
and her coochie loves that. Oh, never mind. Let's not go there. Anyways, I hope you have a good show and enjoy it as you can. There's a lot of weird things that go on, especially when it comes from the realm of Linda Bindaland. So, enjoy the show. Thanks for watching. Peace out.
Anonymous gifted toke_n_joke3 a subscription. An anonymous user gifted a tier 1 sub to toke_n_joke3.
Thank you for the gifted sub. I appreciate it. Welcome, everybody. I'm Will Bard. This is Cold Beer Confessional. Thank you for joining us. That was the music. That was the intro. Hey, daddies. We've got the drunken, spectator section over in YouTube, apparently. We were trolling Bard earlier. If you were part of that, that was pretty fun. I enjoyed it. It was, we had a good time. Bert went live on Rumble for the first time. I wasn't going to say anything, but he pissed me off even mentioning Kelly and Nick and her family and her kids. Like, they fucking hate him. And he's like, my condolences, but I wish you wouldn't have spent the past year lying about me. You had bad info. Oh, God. He's a fucking, God. Then he said he's going to sue me. Well, then slow the fuck down. Chill the fuck out. We got a whole goddamn show for you to rant and rave. Anyways, he's suing me. He's broke. He's begging for hotel money, but he's suing me for everything. He'll see me in court. That's what Bert says. And that his lawyers must have just took everything for free, I'm assuming. I don't know what he's suing me for, other than his former followers came to me and said, hey, can you put out our message? Bert belongs in prison, is my personal opinion, for the money that he scammed off people. So according to him, he still has this deal with SNTV if he wants it, but he's doing it on his own now. So what about all those bullshit contracts you sent out and we're trying to get people to sign and tens, hundreds of thousands of dollars people sent you? One lady sent you $90,000 to start up your bullshit. What about all that? Where's the money coming from? How are you going to repay that? When are they going to start getting dividend checks there, Bert? Bert is still telling people that he had a deal with SNTV, but he just happened to lose his house. But also, he was going to be making between $5,000 and $10,000 per show in advertiser revenue for an audience of 100 people. Like, I have a bigger audience. What the fuck? No, I'm not making between $5,000 and $10,000 a show in advertising revenue. It doesn't work like that. You have to have a huge audience to make money like that. A huge audience. So he's just making it up. I don't know. He can claim that he's been lied to, but he definitely facilitated it. And he's also got this weird, I don't know if it's a gambling addiction. I don't know what it is. He's got this weird mentality where you have to send the money right now. It won't do me no good when the bank opens. I need it at 3:30 a.m. right now. And if you can't help me, just fuck off. I'm going on to the next person. Like, very mean. He treated some of his followers extremely poorly. We read those messages and text messages where literally the lady was saying, I can't afford to feed myself. And he's like, how about $20? You send $20? If you don't get much in food stamps, that means you must have tons of money you're not telling me about. Shit like that. I mean, he's a horrible, horrible, horrible person. And a grifter. He tells people that he doesn't know why I'm going after him because he doesn't cover Q.
Beachside_summer gifted Savvy Oliver a subscription. Beachside_summer gifted a tier 1 sub to Savvy Oliver. This is their first gift sub in the channel.
Thank you for the gifted sub. Some of the people I cover aren't even Republican. They're just grifters. I don't care if you cover Q or not. I really, really could care less, but whatever. Anyways, thank you guys for joining us. Thanks for being here. If you want to contribute to the show, go to coldbeer.fund. That's how we fund the show. Bert, thanks for the same, because people send me donations, people send him donations, but I'm not racking up hundreds of thousands of dollars in donations and then not paying my rent on my home, losing my studio, and going away. Actually, I've had this lease for, God, we're probably coming up on, so we did 1 full year, a second full year. This is going to be our 3rd year kicking off this lease. So we've occupied the space for 2 years at the office. So Thank you guys for that. That was all through you. Well, so Patreon stability. So we have a lot of people who like to be patrons and a lot of people who stick with Patreon even through like some of the times where I wasn't able to make content. Like my parents passed away and shit. I just wasn't able to put anything out there, and a lot of people stuck around. A lot of people left because there wasn't content. I don't blame them. That's what they were paying for. A lot of people stuck around. We were able to have a little stability through that, and that's how we ended up with The Office. So thank you guys. If you want to continue to support the show, you can do that coldbeer.fund. There's a bunch of links, left-hand side. There's a bunch of links to follow me on my different social medias. Use one of those. We haven't had a dono clip in a while. I think it's mostly because Mort's been so busy. But yeah, we haven't had a dono clip in a while. If you want to use dono clip, that's audio or video message that you can send in the stream. We play them. I just like them because I think they're funny. We did get a message from Derek Johnson. This was a message from Derek Johnson. We're playing it a little bit late, right? We probably should have played it a little bit earlier, but, you know, sometimes I forget. Here we go. I haven't opened VLC today. It'll take a second to load. Oh, Derek Johnson. Derek's Johnson. Isn't that what Intel Lady calls him? Derek's Johnson. Come on, VLC. VLC, for some reason, takes so long to open the first time. There it is. Uh-oh, hold on.
Listen, this eclipse tomorrow. Hey, folks, it's Derek. Hey, listen, this eclipse tomorrow, there ain't nothing to be afraid of. Donald Trump himself flew to the moon this weekend to make sure everything was on schedule. So, you ain't got nothing to worry about. Trust the man and trust the plan.
There you go. Trust the man, trust the plan. Straight from Derek Johnson. Derek Johnson reassuring his following. We ain't got nothing to worry about. He's still monitoring the planes, and there's not a single law and or bipartisan law and or order that has been passed that says that the eclipse is fake. So there you go. Thank God for that. Am I right or am I right? Am I right or am I right? So we got the Derek Johnson, Derek Johnson reassurance for the eclipse. It's a little bit late, but we all know we survived the eclipse, right? At least this time. Hold on just a second. Let me pull this up. We're going to cover Phil tonight. Somebody was in the chat doing their thing.
Connieb 118 gifted Suznite a subscription. Connieb 118 gifted a tier 1 sub to Suznite. They have given 37 gift subs in the channel.
Don't I like gifted subs, and thank you for the gifted subs. I think it's weird to ask, like, I need a sub too. If like the gifted subs are just gifted subs. I wouldn't ask for one. If you can ask for one, then you could just save up and pay $4.99 for one. Anyways, yeah, we're gonna cover that. Somebody was harassing me over on, or fucking, you saw it, right? It was all caps lock, it was all slurs. I'd never seen slurred on a keyboard, but I guess that was it. Why have you turned? Why are you doing this?
Wait till you get home. She gonna be like, damn, shit, my God.
Thank you very much, President T1. Bought you 5 6-packs. You are a national treasure. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Thank you for the donation. Anyways, I don't like either one of them. I don't know what you want me to say. I don't like either one of them. Nick cannot defend the things that he has said in court. No one could. He said blatantly false statements. It's not the movie. I advise people to go watch the movie. Watch it 1,000,000 times. Download it. Post it. Do whatever you want, right? And do all of that. That's cool. It's everything outside the movie. First of all, he's a Q-tard. That's what I cover is Q-tards. Well, grifters, Q-tards, you know, the likes. They're usually aligned. Second of all, I don't know why people thought that I would just give him a pass. Have you seen all of his other movies? He works with Derek Johnson, for Christ's sakes, on his last movie. And then third, I'm sorry, the truth is that he cannot defend the things that he said in court. What do you want me to do about that? Go back in time and make him unsay them? You can't say that this person doesn't have custody of their kids when they actually do. His wife doesn't have custody of her kids, which they actually do. They have part split custody, right? And then say the reason that they don't have custody of their kids is because they would fuck them. You can't say that. You just can't defend that in court. What are you going to say? I don't know. You can like Nick all you want, but he still can't say that type of shit in court unless he can prove it. Like there is no restriction with Phil's kids being in his custody because anyone's afraid that he's going to fuck his own kids. You just made that up. But that's their playbook, right? They just make shit up. And then when you ask them for evidence, they say, this is a direct quote from Dr. Z, "We don't need evidence. It's a narrative war. I just say it." That's a direct quote from the documentarians. "We don't need evidence. It's a narrative war. I just say it." So they don't care if they can prove it or not. They just say shit. And they spent stream after stream after stream after stream after stream after stream after stream saying untrue shit about Phil. Like you can read the court documents. You can give your opinion on the court documents. You can read the case. You can read the charges. You can read the charging document. The colloquy, whatever the fuck you want to read, and you can give your opinion on that. You cannot make false, slanderous accusations that would harm someone's reputation with no proof. No more than you could legally. I mean, I guess you could, but legally you couldn't say, "Oh, Will doesn't have custody of his kids because the judge was afraid he was going to fuck them." You just can't say that. I wouldn't let anybody say that about me if I had the means to defend myself in court. Sucks, but he's the one who said it. What the fuck do you want me to do about it?
To help balance their blood sugar
let me
every
mute
night.
this so I can get past the ads. We're going to cover Phil's Eclipse. I heard there was some good stuff in here. Let's skip that. Okay. Let me throw this over here. This is Phil's Eclipse coverage. First, there was somebody, I guess, made a Will Bird account. It's got to be Madison Marquette. There's somebody that made a Will Bird account on Facebook with like no profile picture or whatever. And they were commenting a bunch of stuff. Have you seen the Madison Marquette stuff? I've had to correct people basically all fucking week over that. They're like, it's a Madison Marquette's a national real estate firm. She's a retired porn star, you fucking retard. Anyways, let's see. Open this one. So there was this William Bird account that someone made on Facebook, and they were sharing I'll show you what Facebook business looks like. They were sharing basically all these documents. So I said, going to be mad when they find out. That was the name of my Twitch stream from a couple of days ago. On the 1st, on April Fool's Day. And was it on April Fool's Day? No, it was on the 7th. This doesn't update as fast as everything else does. Anyways, they shared the court documents again, as if they were me. It says William Bird. They shared the court documents that she shared. And it says, "What do you think about the $27 million lien that was filed and accepted against you and your assets?" Then it says, "Laugh all you want. The Secretary of State accepted, and Madison will be foreclosing on all your assets. We all knew you are a trash bag, but let's add dumb trash bag to that. Levada is going to get evicted." I don't know who this is. Anyways, they made the account and shared all this. It's got to be Madison or a super dedicated follower. I guess people don't understand anybody can file a UCC paperwork. Like, it is punishable under penalty of law. I've never heard them like super aggressively like going out and getting fucking false UCC accusations and taking people down. Anybody can file this. And if it's not disputed, then it automatically just posts. It's not like it's accepted because they put any validity to it. If you don't dispute it, then it automatically just posts the website. I've actually had somebody successfully do this against me. When it wasn't the right, it wasn't valid. I filled out a piece of paperwork. It took a couple hours and it come off. Right? She has no grounds. People are like, "Oh, Nick's talking about her doing this to Jaco," and she's like, "Oh, she's going to combine it with a defamation case." No, that's not what a UCC filing is. A UCC filing is that we've already agreed for some type of debt. And I defaulted on that debt. It has nothing to do with defamation. It has nothing to do with anybody saying anything. Defamation's all in civil court. A UCC filing has nothing to do with that. So it doesn't, even she filed a defamation case against Jaco and took him to court, then this is still not valid. She's claiming that they entered into, when she fills out this paperwork, she's claiming that they entered into some type of business arrangement or contract and that the person named defaulted on the debt. And she is putting, it's not a lien. It's basically like an asterisk when you get money or take money away. She can't even enforce these. Like, these don't even take money from your bank account. These don't take your assets. These don't anything. You have to have means of enforcement, which does take court and court orders. You ever heard somebody getting evicted from their fucking house for not paying just because a random person filed a piece of paperwork that anybody could file on the internet? Of course not. They still take filings. They still take court. They still take a bunch of other things. Not defamation court. That has nothing to do with this. She would have to have some type of contract that we entered into some type of agreement and I owe her money, blah, blah, blah. But she's got the wrong person anyways. She's had the wrong person. Who the fuck is Lavada? She's always had the wrong person. She's doing the same thing to Jaco and Scott McKay and a bunch of other fucking people. So, of course, the retard section is like, oh, we don't like her, but she's going after somebody we don't like. Now we like her. So Nick's sharing all of her shit, being like, I guess the grifter we talked about the other day is losing all of his stuff. So then he had to update his post and be like, well, I don't really know what this is. I don't really know what this is. So maybe he's not losing all his stuff. Maybe not. So this is Nick Alvear here. UCC 1 lien filed and accepted against Michael Jaco and Tracy Jaco and all their assets. Michael Jaco 9. Looks like the grifter we called out last week is losing all his stuff. So KCQ says, how is Madison able to file a lien as a creditor? It's the same thing she claimed to do against Michelle Moore. This is the third or fourth time she's claimed to do it to me. A slander defamation lawsuit, perhaps. But even then, even with the slander, it wouldn't be UCC filings, right? You would go to the court. The court would order you to pay, and then you would go back to the court if you didn't pay to enforce it, and then they use whatever they can do as that. It says even that is weak based on what I've seen of Madison and her grifting. I'm sure it's a coincidence that the day after I post about a UCC filing, I get a call from a creditor wanting to know if I've received any money from Michael Jaco. I don't know what the fuck that is. Whoa, says Nick. Then he has to come back and say, facts. My source was gung-ho about it and didn't know the procedures, and neither did I. I'm learning, though, you are correct. If she can pull off a defamation suit, the lien stands with purpose. Wrong. You don't go and get a victory in a defamation suit and then be like, the lien stands that you pre-filed, even though you're not even a creditor. You're not even a creditor. She isn't a creditor. They don't owe him any money through a UCC 1 form. Basically, all a UCC 1 form is, all it is it's like an asterisk. When you go to get a loan or a business loan or apply for financing, or an investor looks your company up or whatever, a UCC statement is just a notice that to interested parties. So that might be a new business partner or a bank or this or that or whatever, and you can get them cleared up pretty easily. But it's just a notice to interested parties that may want to invest, put money in, file legal action or against you or whatever, that someone has a security interest in your personal property or in your business property, depending on which one it is. So basically, like, let's say that Michael Jaco went to refinance his home. Okay? He went to refinance his home at his bank, and the bank pulls it up, and there's like an asterisk there, and it says, notice, someone's claiming they have a UCC interest in your personal property, right? All they would do is be like, do you already have some type of mortgage or something against your house or whatever? Then they're going to read her ranting and raving about her trademark patented name, which you can't do, but they're going to hear her ranting and raving, and he's going to be like, oh, no, let me call the Secretary of State's office to get this cleared up, and it's going to be gone in a couple hours. This is not actionable. This is not actionable at all. Basically, the only reason a creditor should file this is if they engage in a transaction that incurs debt with some type of asset as collateral, a car or whatever, right? Some type of collateral on it. So if you do like a mortgage, the bank does a mortgage, this might be interesting. But she's not extended any credit. She's not incurred any debt with collateral. She's basically saying, you made me mad, so I'm going to tell people your house is my collateral. That's not how it works. She's in the wrong here. It has nothing to do with the case. Even if she won 100 defamation cases, 1,000 defamation cases, this wouldn't be the appropriate paperwork. It's only a notice. This doesn't give her any right to do anything. This is the sovereign citizenship. So like the Moors, the black sovereign citizens, they file these on everybody. Anybody they got a grudge against, anybody that says anything in the comment section, anybody does this, does that, they don't like them, the way their Facebook profile looks, they literally file these on everybody. So Casey Q says, I guess that could make sense. It just seems like they would be covered under an LLC legalities. There's no way Jaco didn't set up his podcast business to protect his personal assets. I'm in no way versed in legal, but something seems off. Yeah, it's because the UCC just doesn't do anything. It's a public notice. That's it. It's a public notice saying a creditor has an interest or some type of secured party. It could be a personal. It doesn't have to be a creditor. It could be a personal person that loans you out, like privately, right? It doesn't have to be a bank per se. That basically they have an interest in some type of agreement you guys made, and it's backed up by some type of collateral. If let's say you went and you got 15, let's say somehow you were able to get 15 loans against your car. The only time the UCC filings would mean anything in court is if, let's say you went and somehow got 15 loans against your car, all for $15,000. The only time the UCC filings would have any weight in court is if no one could really tell when you got the loans, right, or how you got the loans or whatever. Then the first one to file would have basically be at the front of the line if they auctioned off your car or seized your car, right? That's basically it. Yeah, anybody can make one of these. It basically doesn't do anything. It's good for 5 years, then it falls off. If you get a notice that you have one of these on your account that you don't recognize, you could call the Secretary of State's office and get it removed. I've done it before. It's kind of aggravating. You have to like make a statement. You have to tell them that you don't know that person. You don't have any loan with it. They do something on their end. They call you back. It takes a couple hours, but it just takes it off. It's really a shitty solution because anybody can do it, right? They need to have some type of validity or prove their claim. Because if you do go to finance your home and somebody's got a UCC against your home or business or whatever, the bank is going to see it, and then you have to clear it up. So it might fuck up your day for a couple hours, but if you're not taking out any loans right now, no one really gives a fuck. There's also third-party companies that you can just hire. It depends on their rate. They take care of all these. And then we get Nick again. It says not filed by her. Not filed by her. It says secured parties, Madison Hendricks. Yes, it is filed by her. Here in a second, the next, but he's like, oh, her last name's Hendricks. Her last name's Hendricks. It says Madison Hendricks, 9155 Schaefer Road, Box 38, Converse, Texas. Debtor party, so the person who owes the debt, is Unleashing Intuition LLC, which is Michael Jaco's LLC, I'm assuming, where he sells his books and courses and shit. Nah, I don't think it's her. The classified lien is from debt collectors. Yeah, she's just claiming to be a debt collector, bro. It is her. It's her name right there with her address. Like I don't think he understands how any of this works. I never thought that he was like this dumb. Like I didn't peg him as a fucking genius, right? I've seen his back catalog of movies. When Phil first shared his movie about, he shared the movie that's based on Derek Johnson's work. I went back and watched some of his shit because we were all making fun of him back then, months ago, right? And went and watched. I didn't think he was a genius, right? I didn't think he actually knew what's going on behind the scenes. But I didn't think he was this dumb. Jesus Christ. Update. This could mean nothing. It's coming from a psycho grifter, Madison Marquette, who has yet to file a lawsuit against Jaco. I don't think he'll lose his stuff. Yeah, no shit. If she had 1,000 of these printed off, all with his name on it. It doesn't give her a right to take anything. Let's say she actually had it for the right person, the right property. By the way she filed them is wrong. You just can't say all his assets, all his businesses, all his homes, all his cars. Like, we need VIN numbers, we need addresses, we need mortgage companies, we need all the details. But let's go say he said, even if she had her make, model, and VIN number of his car, if he goes to sell it, or refinance it or something like that. It goes to sell it at a car lot and they see it. It might take him a few minutes to clear it up, but it still doesn't give her the right to it. You fucking retards. Then we're followed up by, I think the real Jaco is gone, says Nada Dean. We are seeing Jaco 2.0, a lady that used to do shows with him, saw him months ago and said, that's not the Jaco I know. Oh no. It's a UCC. Now he's telling people as if he's the guy that knows all about that. Guys, don't freak out about all the bullshit claims I just made. It's just a UCC filing. If you file this frivolously, you can get locked up. If it's done by her, it's done for a reason. Because she's a fucking retard. She's sharing around the post I made because obviously she's a retired porn star. She was in Splattered and Baby Battered 4, 5, and 7. But obviously she was sending me all these messages about how she was going to destroy me, and she was like, I'll look up all your family and tell them you're a pedophile, because she's literally married to a pedophile that's in prison. That's a whole different story. But she was like harassing me on the internet, and I said, okay, go hire your lawyers. I'll wait. In fact, I'll probably look up one of your old movies and rub one out to relax until you get done. And then I was fucking with her because she said something on her Telegram page about me probably being CIA. And I was like, oh, I'll make sure wait till my CIA handlers hear about this or some shit. She's a retired porn star. Why would I not say, I'll rub one out to one of your old videos while I wait? What did you expect me to say? That was just kind of, that's like when life hands you a joke, right? She's like, just wait till my lawyers get there. And I was like, well, I got plenty of hub material to watch until they get over here. Thanks. But that's people's biggest gripe with me. Some of them say, like, I used to watch him until he started treating women poorly. So I corrected this Mr. Truth Seeker, and then now, of course, he's following the patented Nick Alvear strategy of now pretending he's an expert on it. So this is the guy that yesterday was like, it's wrong, Will Bird. This is a real estate company. That guy's a doctor. He lives over here. That's not right. They're coming. He doesn't have any assets. They're coming after him, but it's a real estate company. Okay. So this one says something about Jaco, and Mr. Truth Seeker says, at least she possibly got the right one this time, unlike the filing in Tennessee. Lynn says, didn't she go after Wildo too? Mr. Truth Seeker says, yeah, but it was a farm equipment company in Memphis. He lives in East Arkansas, not the right one. Okay. Here's the company that she used in the court system, Bird Agri-Sales. And Lynn says, oh, okay, I think she did this on purpose. She'd lose for sure with Wildo. He's got everything on her. I only watched Jaco, I think, once, but she is allegedly a felon also. She is a convicted felon. That's right. So not sure how that will go. Mr. Truth Seeker says, I asked Wildo about Cookeville, Tennessee, and he told me he's never been that far west. No, I didn't. I've been to Cookeville plenty of times. Anyways, Cookeville is actually the center of the state and is east of Nashville. I probably told you I don't live anywhere near that far west. I live in East Tennessee. Notice her, Phil, Jaco, that I know of, and many other grifters and pedos never talk live on Facebook, X, or True Social about how they came to be in this movement. They stay hidden in Telegram or Rumble, laugh out loud. Well, they're banned from most of those places, Lynn. So now he's an expert on it as well. And then one last one. Where is... Apparently Nick's going to summon me to court. depending on what he said, Nick could be the one to depose Will. Wildo is playing a pretty risky game right now, and I doubt he's even aware of the consequences of the things he agreed to. What? What's Nick going to ask me? Do you think I'm going to lose this case? Yes. I do. Done. That's over. Did Phil pay you? No. Bye. Love you. They had to file an extension in the case. That is true. Or they submitted too many so there's apparently a document word limit to court documents. So they had to file, I guess, an exemption for the 8,500 word limit from Nick Alvear. Here it is. Kennedy says, I lost interest when he started disrespecting women on his show. What grown man thinks it's okay to make fun of a woman's looks, and talks about her private parts? Oh, how do these people watch They can't. They can't. They can't watch comedy, right? There's no fucking way. They can't watch a comedian. There's no way. Right? What do they watch? Nick's documentaries all day? When you do that, and especially to your wife, on top of that, you are not a grown man. So I can't joke with my wife? That's weird. You must have a very, very loving marriage and relationship. It pretty much tells me he has more dick in his personality than he does in his pants, and he is complex. I would say that's true. By no means I'm a grower, not a shower. But I got a lot of dick in my personality too. I don't know that there's a dick on this planet that's bigger than the dick in my personality. Whatever. They are quite focused on appearance in a crappy way. That's what they are into. It is how they define adults. Godzilla bringing it in strong. Good job, Godzilla. Good job. Thank you. All right, let's get to this other shit. Let me pull this back over here. Let's get to the Eclipse video. You want to? We're going to speed it up. We're going to get through it. It's over 2 hours long, so we'll see what we can get through here. Let me put this back where it was. Sorry. I got to get my tabs back in order. I'll lose what I was covering. Oh, before we get started, I'm definitely going to build a one wheel, like my own version of one wheel. I've already kind of laid out a little diagram. I've already gathered some material. One of the issues with building a one wheel is a lot of people want them like super, super light so they can do like tricks and go further, blah, blah, blah. I'm not super concerned about that. So like where I would need like specialty materials like machined aluminum or whatever, I'm just going to use cheaper materials. So I have a couple plans. One is to get all the parts and lay out a diagram. Then 2 is to put it all together, make sure it functions like on a test stand, like right with nothing around it. I don't have like it in the boxes or whatever. It's just like sitting here on the table and it functions the way it's supposed to. And then 3, I'll build the most ghetto ass looking one wheel as long as it works and rides, like somebody can get on it and ride it. And then 4 is when once it works and it rides and it's proven, that's when we'll go and worry about aluminum this and how cool can we make that look? Can we add LED lights here and an indicator there? But it's just going to be getting the parts and laying it out on paper, laying it out on a test bench, get it going, then get a functioning model that actually rides, that someone can ride, and then make it look nice. So I'm going to order some parts, I guess, and then we're going to start there. But I'm pretty stoked about it. I actually gathered some material today, so it'll probably be on the other channel. I don't know if you guys follow my other channel. It's called Cold Beer Creations. Cold Beer Creations. It'll probably be there instead of here, and it'll be through I'll have shorts on TikTok and different things. But I am going to build one. If you don't know what a one wheel is, it's a self-balancing one-wheel skateboard that's electric powered. They're pretty cool. I just got one. But I need 2 because my son fell in love with it too, and I've always wanted to build one. So I'm going to move forward with that and build one. Almost today, I was thinking about trying to buy one because there's one not far from me that's like around, I think it's like $500 or something. I was thinking about trying to talk him down, but I was like, fuck it. I can build a better one for that same amount of money, and I can do it in phases rather than trying to just cough up $500. I could spend, $100 in parts, and then next time I get paid, do this, do that, whatever. So Cold Beer Creations is where it'll be at. That's the channel that I'm going to put all my little projects on. There's already some stuff there where we used to play D&D on the channel with some of the followers and build remote control airplanes and drones and shit. Cold Beer Creations is the channel. Cold Beer Creations. That's when I'm going to start we might change the name later on, but it's going to be like a mechanical style, working on stuff, projects, blah, 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 which will probably cut into the days that I'm live here. But there'll still be content coming out. It'll either be there or to be here or to be an edited video if it's not live. So just make sure you subscribe to both of them. Here we go. I think I still got this site muted. Oh, God, Phil's going down. Wonder who he keeps going down on. Way down he goes.
Cruising down the sector, Supreme Neck Protector.
Oh, I didn't finish telling you guys. Hold on just a second. I thought that person had to be Madison Marquette. That was like the Will Bird person, right? That I just showed you all those comments that posted the lien and stuff. That was from Madison Marquette on Facebook. But someone laughed at all their comments. And I looked at the name of the person who laughed on all their comments, and I'm like, who is this? It is a Facebook called Nick Z Script. Nick Z Script. And I thought, God, this has got to be somebody that hates me. I don't think it is. I think it's one of you guys. Because when I went to the Nick Z Keeper. When I went to the Nick Z Keeper page and was like, who the fuck is this troll? And what are they trying to do? This is their profile picture. It says, badass friends to the badass end. So it's one of you guys. It's one of you guys. Like, that's clearly funny. And that was the joke that we brought up when Nick was doing his live stream. I got a couple badass friends that'll munch you up. What? Badass friends, the badass end. So whoever that is, that made me laugh today when I found it, or last night when I found it. Thank you for that. I appreciate it. I like to laugh. Let's see what we got here. Boom. Back to it.
Who's that? Who sings that one? Come on. Come on, you know it. Come on.
Marquette.
Come on.
Madison
Who's my old
Marquette.
school hip hop.
Madison Marquette and Wet 7.
You guys are out there, right?
She was in Bubble Butt Pool Party 3, Splattered and Battered 4, 5, and 7.
Who sings it?
Splattered and Baby Battered.
Checker, Swing Soul Lecture, Cruising Down the Sector, Supreme Neck Protector. You know, a lot of people tell me I sound like a much better version of Script Keeper. Just kidding. Nobody tells me that. Come on. Woo. There you go. Wu-Tang. Red Man, Method Man. Boom.
Jesus Christ.
Like I mean, you seriously, if you grew up in the 90s,
The Rock Wilder,
like Wu-Tang, and Wu-Tang wasn't a thing for you, God bless your soul. You know? Just God bless your soul. That's all I have to say about that.
So that was Phil's hardcore rap.
All right, sorry about the delay there.
Hope you enjoyed it.
The major part of the delay was because my son had his first baseball practice of the year this year, and it ran until 6:30, pretty much on the dot, and then it took a good 10 or 15 minutes to drive back to my house to go live. So, yeah, so that kind of took me right to. I actually was ready to go live right at 7 p.m. But
I do think it's interesting that Phil says stuff in our chat that he would never say in his chat, and you guys know it. And the fucking trolls, the people that are like, I would never let Phil in here. Will must be working for Phil because Phil's in his Telegram. And Will still enforces the rule that you can't talk about Phil all day long. But then they also screenshot stuff Phil said and said, oh my God, look, he said this in Will's chat. Isn't that a lie that he told other people? Look, here's the proof. Here's where he said it in his chat, and here's where he said something different in Will's chat. Yeah, that's the point, you fucking retards.
I haven't been on this computer going live in a while, and everything's messed up for some reason. I must have, when I went to Hawaii and Havasu the last couple of weeks, I must have like ripped stuff out of here quickly because none of the setup was right. But we're good now. So yeah.
Good now. We're good.
Anyway,
we got it.
We got a lot to talk about tonight. I didn't get to put together a presentation like I wanted to. So
where did the brick wall who supports Trump go?
But I'm going to try my best to walk you through what I was going to do the presentation on anyway, without any sort of visual references. So it's really just going to be me talking, and then we'll do a Q&A at the end. I think you guys have a lot of questions that you want to ask because I've been seeing some stuff.
These are the same people that when Phil hopped into Exposed and did like a 4-hour voice chat, and I went over there and asked him some questions or whatever, they were the ones that were screaming at him in there because they wanted to talk to him. They didn't say shit then, right? They didn't say shit then. It's only now.
In the chat, particularly on Telegram, where you guys are confused about a lot of things. So I'm gonna try to unconfuse everybody tonight, if that's a thing. I don't know if that's a thing, but we'll see. So why y'all tell me where you're from first? Forest City, Arkansas. Okay, I have a Forest City here too. It's weird. Wisconsin Rapids, Wisconsin Rapids, Wisconsin. Okay. California, Vancouver, Maytown, Kentucky. Oh, if you're from Kentucky and you left, good for you. Can't win if you don't cheat. If you're Calipari, so don't worry about that one. Well, a big audience today. Holy moly! I can't even. It's probably not a place. Wow, I was going real fast. Ooh, a big audience today. Holy moly!
What's he gonna say? How many is he gonna say watched him, chat? How many? What do you think? Make a guess in there. How many millions?
I can't stop. I can't scroll up and stop it. It just keeps going. Holy Moses! All right, so I'm just gonna have to. I can't see either. That's the problem.
Triple double agent.
Knickner, Phillips, South Dakota. Is that real? Am I just not seeing these right? That's possible. Denmark. That's cool. Way across the pond, huh? Buffalo, New York. I'm just looking at one area.
22, 400, 4, 27, 27, 31, 35, 23.
It's too fast. I don't know. I guess they fixed this on Rumble Studio where it would allow me to scroll up. And now I can't even. There's just way too many. I'm sorry, guys. I'd love to shout out your area. Fresno, California, saw that one. Tucson, Spartansburg. I don't know. Mesa, Arizona.
You don't know where Spartansburg is?
Brunswick, Arkansas.
Spartanburg, not Spartansburg. Spartanburg, I think.
Cheats.
No S.
Cheats everywhere he went. Everywhere. Memphis cheated. Kentucky cheated. He even cheated and didn't get caught. It's just cheats. Can't stand the guy. Boobies. Saw that one. Of course. I don't know. Michigan, Rhode Island.
Of course his numbers are bullshit. We can see them on this end. Phil says that, if you don't have an account, then Rumble doesn't show that you're actually watching in the numbers you see. It's only secret numbers only I can see. No, they don't. Like, I've talked to Rumble customer support. I talked to a Rumble executive, and even Destiny, who's a different political streamer. He's like a leftist political streamer. Had a back and forth with the owner of Rumble about how the numbers present, how they show. It has nothing to do with having an account. That would be silly.
Hollywood, Maryland, Saratoga Springs, New York, Penfield, Pennsylvania. I think they do something to cars. It's pretty cool. Take old cars and like drop in garage. I think it is. It's pretty cool. Washingtonville, New York, Kernersville, North Carolina, Loveland, Ohio, Finger Lakes. Yeah, Hunter Biden likes the Finger Lakes, I think. Not that. I mean, nothing against you, of course. Waco, Montana, the Netherlands, Philsville, Kansas. That'd be cool if that were true. Southeast Texas, County, Pennsylvania, Plainwell, Columbia.
I'm sure there's a Philsville somewhere.
Strangely, I don't know. Huntsville, Ohio, Concord, North Carolina, Kingwood,
that
Texas,
sounds plausible.
That's where I should be from. Vandergrift, Phil or Grift or something. I don't know. Lone Tree, Colorado.
You got it.
Belgium. Wow. Zephyr Hills, Florida. You guys are gonna stop. You're not stopping. Yoder, Colorado. Bristol, Tennessee.
Bristol. That's getting too close to me. I've heard him say Johnson City and shit, like real close to me.
Cool. I don't see a lot of Mexicos on here. I don't see a lot of Mexicos. So that's cool. Puerto Vallarta.
Yeah, but he could be lying about his. So from what I can tell, even in court, he's lying about his income. He's lying about how many subscribers, how many viewers he has. Maybe because he knew we would get all the documents and see it. But so when you go to his locals page, you can tell how many people followed him on locals, right? But those are not paid subscribers. Anybody can go follow him. Anybody can go follow him for free. That's the only thing that we can see is his locals page, how many followers he has. Now, you can follow for free as long as you make a locals account, which I think you can sign in with your Rumble account or whatever. But we can't see the number of paid subscribers. That's something that he does not put out there. So that's where we're kind of stuck at.
All right. So what? Nothing happened? CERN didn't activate and like open a portal to the nether world? What happened? Nothing at all? I told you nothing was going to happen. So here's what happened in Pennsylvania. I was outside today doing some work on my property. I have a lot going on around here, making some improvements. And
like it shows me as one of his members because I have a locals account. I follow his post over there just to see what he's lying about. And I don't pay him shit. Like I don't pay over there, right? But there are paid members and then there are free members on locals. The same way that you might see all my people on Twitch and think, oh, he's got, however many people. How many people is watching on Twitch? He's got 150 people on Twitch at $5 a piece. That's, X amount of money. But not all of those people are subscribers, right? I have 300 and some subscribers, 334 subscribers that are paid. But those numbers are backwards. But still, if I had like 1,000 people watching right now and you say, oh, that would be $5,000, but I only have 350 paid subscribers.
Right around Eclipse time, I think it was about 3:30. I think it was 3:23 p.m. got dark, and we were partial eclipse, but we had like a sliver, just a tiny sliver of the sun. It got dark and then it got cold, and I was pissed because I couldn't see, and that's what happened. So again, I want to use this as a reminder that there are people out there that throw disinformation and like
with his baby chainsaw
stuff all around all the time.
His 3-inch bar chainsaw. It's a shower. It's a grower, not a shower.
That supposed to be nefarious in nature whatsoever. The black hats, the bad guys, they're not powerful anymore, guys. Okay, let me tell you something. I was holding off, but I'll tell you now. When the Lahaina fires happened, when the direct energy weapon, this is going to sound a little confusing, so try to follow me.
You guys
when the
hear
direct energy
that?
weapon hit Lahaina.
Sorry.
In Hawaii. This was back in August of 23. That particular direct, somebody said Italy over there. Love it.
Got ADHD.
Later this year again. Anyway, when that particular direct energy weapon hit Lahaina, that gave up CERN. I know it sounds backward,
okay,
but it gave up CERN, meaning that the black hats were no longer in control of CERN.
So when the energy weapon hit Hawaii to start the fire that was clearly started by, dry brush, dry conditions, and a transformer and wind, or power lines and wind, that's when they gave up CERN.
Once the dew hit Lahaina. And the reason for that is because they were connected.
He basically has given up the Q-phone bullshit. He now says when people ask him, like, when are we getting the Q-phone? He's like, how do you know you haven't already got it? How do you know you don't already have it in your hands? Well, because I'm using a Razr flip phone from 2009. So
there's a bunch of different direct energy weapon types, okay? Some direct energy weapons will burn through certain colors and not others. Yet other direct energy weapons have no such programmability whatsoever. When the white hats realized that the color blue was not affected by the direct energy weapon that hit Lahaina, they knew exactly where it came from.
Oh, okay. Got it.
And they knew the exact time that it came from.
It's like when they test fire a gun after a crime's been committed, and they get the grooves off the round from the barrel, the extractor from the shell casing. It's just like that. They can tell which direct energy weapon that was and who controlled it. But isn't it a satellite from space? Fuck satellites! They just lobbed a laser over the flat Earth.
Lahaina was a black hat operation and a way to try to grab a land grab and to also try to steal children. Because keep in mind, for the last several years now, for the last few years now, Adrenochrome has been almost in a non-existent supply. So hitting Lahaina in the way that they did on that particular day because of no school and the way that the government of Hawaii, or Maui in particular, reacted, that really was a great opportunity.
By the way, we've covered the whatever you want to say, 80,000, 5,000, 10,000, 100,000, 200,000, 6 million missing kids in Hawaii. It's not true. It's not true. We went down, I think that day that there were actually 2 kids that were missing by the time everything got settled and people were trying to find their family and stuff. There were 2 kids that was missing, and both of them ended up dying in the fire.
Opportunity for the black hats to try to extract children from that island. Happy to report that didn't go down that way. We stopped them. But once the white hats realized that, okay, children are safe, we got them, how this happened? And then we started looking at the evidence, and this all happened within the same day. Like, it wasn't like a week-to-week, a month-to-month breakdown. Once they realized that this weapon didn't affect anything blue, they knew exactly.
Oh, yeah, his chat makes up his conspiracy theories.
Program frequency of the direct energy weapon, and that particular direct energy weapon will not affect certain colors or certain whatever. It depends on the frequency that it's programmed at. Okay. This one was blue. There's only one place you could do that, and that was at CERN. At that point, within those a couple-day period, the white hats have had control of CERN since then. CERN is no longer a threat. Honestly, CERN, from a satanic point of view, CERN was always a huge opportunity to bring Satan and his minions and the demons into this world, like physically into this world. I understand. If you believe in God and you don't believe in Satan or demons or hell, you better reconsider things a lot. If you believe in good and you don't believe in evil, it doesn't work that way.
Well, it literally doesn't work that way. You can't. So there has to be a diametrically. But if there's, this is getting into like philosophy. If there's something that you can call good, then there has to be something that you can call bad. If X, Y, and Z are good, then the opposite of it has to be, like, you might call it something else. You might call it fucking giblet stain. It doesn't matter what word you use. If there's something over here that's good, then there has to be something over here that's diametrically opposed. You can't believe in one and not the other. You can't be like, oh, I believe there's good out there. And someone's like, what about evil? And you're like, what the fuck is that? No, just good. Just neutral and good. That's it.
It just doesn't work that way. So CERN, back in August, has been under white hat control. So when I saw all this stuff coming out about the eclipse and, oh, they're going to activate CERN during the eclipse, who's going to activate CERN? The white hats? Why? For what? What would be the point of doing that? Don't buy into the whole narrative of all things at all times. This eclipse was, now, for other reasons and for other purposes, this eclipse should have taught us a lot of things. Case in point, what was the width of the shadow? Anyone know? I actually don't know. I didn't look it up. So if anyone knows, how many miles wide was the shadow? The path of total eclipse. not partial. Anyone know how many miles wide it was? 70 miles? Somebody said here, is that right? Somebody said 17. No, I'm not looking for like a common number. 67, 70.
Jesus.
Somebody said 200.
It was like 115 miles wide, right? 115 miles, 120, something like that, of the path of totality. I can't remember.
Now we're off. I don't want you to guess. I don't want you to answer if you know. Is it 70 miles? A lot of people are saying 70. 67, 70. Okay. All right. Do you know that based on the distance from Earth to the sun, big distance, right? 93 million, billion, zillion, quadrillion miles, or whatever friggin' hell the liars say, right? And then the distance from the moon to the sun, and then the distance from the moon to the Earth. You know that the eclipse today should have been about 3,300 miles wide.
That's not true. That's not even close to true. So there is a cosmic coincidence. I know people are like, coincidences aren't real. The sun is about 400 times bigger than the moon. The sun is about 400 times bigger than the moon. Guess how much further away the sun is than the moon is? $400 times, right? The sun is about 400 times further away from the Earth than the moon is, and the sun's about 400 times bigger. That's why it's almost the same size when we have the eclipse. He's not going to show us any math that's like, oh, it ought to be 3,300 miles wide. Where? I saw that. So I've seen this before. The Army Corps of Engineer Blue Earth program. So basically, they have this So there is a Blue Earth program that the Army Corps of Engineers does. If you've never heard about it, they claim that this is a conspiracy theory or whatever. Basically, the Blue Roof program is a disaster relief program that the Army Corps of Engineers and FEMA do together. If your house has less than 50% structural damage and has a normal roof, right? It's not metal, clay, slate, like it's a normal tile roof. They bring out like these like super, super blue tarps, right? It's tarp material. It's just thicker and more durable. And they put it up on your roof to make it habitable. That way we're not running out of hotels and housing areas and moving people to like a super dome to live or whatever. The Army Corps of Engineers does have a blue roof program, and it's named after the blue tarp that they put on your roof.
Why is there not one single NASA video of the eclipse? Why wouldn't NASA be able to put up a camera? I mean, apparently they can put cameras and look at...
NASA live streamed the eclipse, the whole thing. NASA live stream the entire eclipse. NASA live streamed the entire eclipse. Here is NASA's website. So why can't NASA put up a video of it? It says, watch live 2024 total solar eclipse. Join NASA experts on April 8th for a broadcast of the total solar eclipse. Want to see more? Tune in the streams below for telescope live feeds of a total solar eclipse across the path, a broadcast in Spanish, and a live stream of sounding rockets launching. Live stream of sounding rockets launching during the eclipse. Join us April 8th. If you go down here, it says 2024 total solar eclipse through the eyes of NASA. Join NASA as a total solar eclipse moves across North America on April 8th, 2024, traveling through Mexico, across the United States, from Texas to Maine, and out across Canada's Atlantic coast. Tune in for live views from across the path, expert commentary, live demos, and more. Monday, April 8th from 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. Watch on NASA Plus. And then if we click this, is actually a YouTube video you can go to. It's 3 hours long. So when he says, why don't they have a video of it, you mean like the 3-hour fucking live stream they did of it?
Sturdy piece of paper. Or
A partial eclipse. Some places already experienced, like you just saw that footage from
completely covering the sun, and that will only be for the...
This is from Mexico. They basically covered it in lots of places across the path.
Solar eclipses.
Also, they sent out tons and tons and tons of rockets and probes and cameras, and they want to study this stuff. They need to study this stuff.
Directly at the sun during a total solar eclipse. This serves eclipse.
it really is the star of the show today.
So let's see if we can get one in America. Let's see where they're at.
They can see me. But I did.
There's Snoopy at the Great Lakes Science Center.
Oh, Snoopy there. For the total solar
like this was a thing they had set up, planned. They live streamed. There it is in Mexico. We're getting the full eclipse almost.
all of them are great. That's
look, here we go. Totality.
Thank you so much. I know you're super.
Now the reason everything looks so dark is because to be able to see this, you know, when you put on the glasses, it's dark. When you put on a welding helmet, it's dark. To be able to see this and record it through their camera, they have to have some type of filter on it.
Excited to see the total solar eclipse today.
It will destroy camera lenses, expensive camera sensors and shit.
Back over to Tahira in.
Just pointing at the sun.
About 19. Hopefully, we'll be able to see that in Torion right now.
Yeah, we're watching that live feed.
Yes.
That's from Torion, Mexico.
The sliver seconds away.
Here we go.
Let's take it in.
Wow. It's a pretty cool thing to see. If you got a chance to see it, that's awesome. There it goes.
Wow.
Boom.
We are in.
Yep, that diamond.
You can literally see the ridges and craters and shit on the moon, which is weird because Phil thinks the moon's made out of plasma. Why do they put craters on the side of it? It's weird, huh?
See a little bit of those Bailey beads too, as we're looking at it. Those kind of the lights trickling through around the surface of the moon, coming through the peaks and valleys.
So what are we viewing on the left-hand side? This almost pink color effect.
Right, and so as we just heard from the last...
See how much brighter it got? They're changing the ISO of the camera. They're picking up more light because it's so dark now.
You know, these pink fingers are popping out a little bit. And those are the solar prominences. They're appearing pink because of the helium rich. But we can see it. Let's focus on the corona here, that glow that we're getting, and we can see it basically...
So when they turned down the ISO, you can see this glow. Before, of course, the glow was really low because they were warning directly. They were pointing it directly at the sun. Now they're turning up the ISO, how much light gets in to the camera lens. You can start to see the corona effect.
Are coming out a lot of the energy and brightness that we do not have the ability to see on a day-to-day basis. So with this total eclipse, we're able to see that corona nice and bright coming through in Torion.
Our first one is going to be from Justin, who wants to know...
Right now, you won't be able to. I mean, we have
and how many degrees we can expect.
Yeah, you know.
So full coverage is what? As C2. C2 is C1 is when it touches. C2 is all the way across. C3 is when it starts moving away. Okay.
The humidity
the C2. Contact 2.
So we're about and so in 27 solar cycle, the sun goes
plasma craters at least.
You know, that is potentially the beginning of space weather as we go through. So Gina, too, you know, connectivity. Oh, that's right. So eclipses don't only happen on Earth. Let's talk about Mars.
A satellite view of that would be cool, of the shadow going across the U.S.
It's fun, and I'm flying with people that have principles.
This is in Russellville, Arkansas.
It's a dream.
That's where ours was at. Our live stream was from Arkansas. Caryville, Texas. Completely dark. Look, thousands of people there verifying that this literally is happening.
Planes and helicopters and drones.
There was a really cool picture that that people were freaking out saying it's fake, it's this, it's that, it's a artist rendition, it's a composite, it's blah blah blah. Let me see if I can find it. I can't remember who shared it, but there was a really cool picture, and it's super fucking high definition, to where you can see it, and they had the exposure just right. They had the ISO just right. It was insane. That's an illustration. That's not it. I think, who was it that shared it? The eclipse over Franklin, Indiana, my dream photo, and a lifetime memory. Oh, here's somebody that took this photo. This is like a regular person that took this photo. It doesn't look real because we're not used to seeing it, right? This is Peter Forrester. He says, the eclipse over Franklin, Indiana, my dream photo and a lifetime memory. 12-frame HDR stack is what he used to take it. And the photo's even available as a print. The photo's even available as a print if you want the print. Now, has he pulled this into a Photoshop and made the brights brighter, the darks darker, separated it, got the muddiness out of it, and resharpened it? Probably. Right? It says Kodak Professional Endura Premium Paper Luster E. That's the paper that's on. Wet printing process, white borders, do not change the size of the print. Vibrant fine grain pigmentation. That's a cool photo. And this guy's selling prints of it. So he took the photo. That was basically like what the one I was looking for was like. Let me see if I can still find it because it had the actual texture of the moon to it. Let me see if I can find it. It was such a cool picture. Here's somebody else that took it. I had a vision when I went out to photograph the 2024 eclipse. What I came out with is blowing my mind right now. That's a pretty cool picture that he got. Hold on. I'm not showing you these. I want to find the good one. As somebody shared it today, and everybody's like, oh, sure. You think that's a real picture? Yeah, I bet you do. It was just, I don't know. It was just retarded. But there was a really, really cool picture of it. Is this it? Here we go. Remember that little, I don't know if you saw it in this stream we were just watching from NASA, but there was like a triangle at the bottom of it almost looked like a triangle at the bottom of the, when they turned up the ISO. Here it is and captured, and it's actually like a flare of some type coming off of it. See how it's not a full triangle here. It's actually two different flames that come out, and it's hollow, but the camera doesn't always catch that. This is a cool picture. This is a cool picture. There's enough light bouncing around it to start to see texture on the moon. You can see how the sun is a fucking ball of fire, so it's never going to be contained. This is a cool fucking picture. I think it is. That's a cool fucking picture. Oh, I know what it was. Somebody took the picture that someone else posted and they put it into like a photo analysis something, and they're like, probably fake. The photo analysis thing did it, like an AI photo analysis thing. But those things are often wrong. But here's a couple more pictures somebody took. This is from Joshua Intini. It says 2024 solar eclipse from Northwest Vermont in all its glory, a day I'll never forget. Both are composites of a 12. So these composites mean that they took multiple pictures, right? The other guy said he had a 12 stack, so he took 12 pictures and overlaid them, and some of them he turned up, some of them he turned down. It's a composite image, right? It's not one fucking perfect picture. These are composites. That's a cool one there too, with a shadow and it's just like barely peeking over. Those are cool pictures. I wish I had the ability to photograph shit like that.
Look at Pluto and Saturn and all this stuff and get these great pictures. Why can't we get a NASA live shot as the eclipse was happening?
Was it dark? Yeah, it gets dark. Like it doesn't get, so it's only a 75 mile. You could, like, if you're just looking at the sky, you can see further than 75 miles. Like you can't make anything out, but if you're just looking at blue sky, you can see further than 75 miles, right? So like it doesn't get dark like nighttime, like midnight dark, but it gets dark like way worse than like a thunderstorm's rolling in dark. But there's still light that's trying to pierce that. It's reflecting off the rest of this sun's surface. You can see it in these videos, the NASA live stream. See how dark it is down here in this bottom corner? I mean, it gets pretty fucking dark. But if you're in a flat area where you can see way out in the sky, you can still see light on either side.
Because you need the moon for an eclipse, you need the sun for an eclipse. I'm standing on the earth to see it.
Oh man.
So see, these are people standing here, down here in the bottom corner.
Over 30 million of us.
That are literally watching it. So, and you see when it starts to open back up, if they stick with this shot long enough.
When you see it, you're just like, wow, it actually is.
Oh, they switched it here.
On the plane.
If they stick with this shot long enough, it'll start to line back. There you go. So see the lighting changes as I speed back through?
Yep. It's been great.
So it's like dark for like a few minutes. It's pretty dark. It's not like no light whatsoever. It's pretty dark.
Yep.
Ever wonder why we've never seen anything from NASA at all from any past eclipse?
Yeah, it's dark, but you can still see. That would be. It's dark. It's darker than any thunderstorm I've ever seen in the day. But you can still see. It's not like pitch black dark. You can't see your hand in front of your face. Like you can still see the people you're there with and stuff. You take your glasses off when the totality happens, and you can still see the people you're standing there with and talk to them.
Mathematics. Now, if you believe in the globe, listen, guys, I'm not trying to like sell you on flat Earth. I'm just telling you math. If you believe that the Earth is a sphere, just hang out in space, and the sun is 93 million miles away, and this is what NASA tells us, and the moon is 200,000 miles away, something like that, and then you do that math, and don't use the word penumbra. I don't want to hear it. That's a made-up thing. I'm just going to make up a word right now, kachupa. And you have to say it just like that, kachupa. And you know what that means? That means that when I drive down the road, the speed limit doesn't matter. Is that true? Just because I said it? No.
Judging by your tickets you've gotten recently, maybe you do think it's real.
So just because NASA says it doesn't mean it's true. There's no penumbra. There's no umbra. It's all bullshit. You might as well just call, hey guys, here's a bullshit thing for you to really, sink your teeth into. Penumbra. Oh, that's how it works. You got this big, huge object, and you got this little tiny moon, and you got this Earth over here, and the shadow.
So penumbra is when the Earth passes between the moon and the sun. When the Earth passes between the moon and the sun. Penumbral lunar eclipse. a penumbral lunar eclipse.
Shadow should be 3,200 miles wide, 32 something I think it was, but yet it's not. So this time I get pulled over and I get pulled over a lot. I drive a lot of fast cars. I can't help it. Sometimes I don't even know I'm driving that fast. It's weird. Anyway, next time I get pulled over, I'm just gonna look at the cop and be like, he's gonna be like, excuse me, and be like,
the base word penumbra means, I can't remember exactly what it means, but it means that you have a dark outer, like a partially dark outer region of a shadow cast by an object that light doesn't pass through, right? You have a partially dark region. That's what the word penumbra means. It's the less dark outside area of a shadow.
You know, he'll probably take me to jail. Maybe he'll feel bad for me because I don't know. 3,200, 3,300 miles wide. If you believe NASA and the sun's that far away and the moon is that far away and the sun is a certain size and the moon is a certain size and the earth is a certain size, you had a shadow today of about 3,300 miles wide. Yet it was 70 miles wide. Same thing happened in 2017. No explanation from NASA. And if you ask them, they won't answer. Miles wide.
That's not right.
And the moon is that far away and the sun is, I don't know, 3,200, 3,300.
Just show, you could use software to predict this. If the sun is 400 times bigger than the moon, and the moon is 400 times closer than the sun, so they're going to appear to be about the same size. So you need to know, if they're going to appear to be about the same size, you need to know the size of the moon, the distance it is from the Earth, and the shadow that it would cast.
100 miles wide. If you believe NASA and the sun's that far away and the moon is that far away and the sun is a certain size and the moon is a certain size and the Earth is a certain size, you had a shadow today of about 3,300 miles wide. Yet it was 70 miles wide. Same thing happened in 2017.
It's just not true.
No explanation from NASA. And if you ask them, they won't answer. Where's the video? You know why they won't show you a video? They could show you a video. They won't. And the reason why they won't is because if they did, they would be videoing a very small sun.
They literally did. They have live streams of it. They have live streams of it. I'm sure someone's already done the fucking math. Let's see. It's just the umbra part of the moon's shadow that is small. The penumbra, which is really hard to see since it is very weak and fuzzy, is actually about twice the size of the moon's diameter. So the whole shadow, including the partial shadow part, is about twice the size of the moon's diameter. It's only the black, like 100% blacked out shadow that was the path of totality, 151 miles wide or whatever it said. Or was that kilometers? They said between 108 and 122 miles wide, an additional 150 people a million live within the 200 miles of the path of totality. The path range, it depends, I guess, where you're at. It probably depends on altitude as well. So somewhere between 100 and 200 miles wide is the path of totality. But the actual penumbra, the partial shadow, was twice the width of the moon. This forum gives some details, and it's pretty good. Let's see. That's a photo of the umbra and the penumbra of the surface of the Earth taken from space. It is a little distorted because it's not directly under the ISS, but far off near the terminator. It's hard to pin down the size of penumbra because it's fuzzy and fades near the edges, but if you could see the very edges, then it would be twice the diameter of the moon, or roughly 6,900 kilometers total. Actually, this is only true by coincidence because the angular diameter of the sun happens to be the same as that of the moon, the angular diameter. So like what it looks like from Earth, they happen to be about the same size. Does a good job of explaining how to calculate the diameter of the umbra, and that math could probably be extended to calculate the diameter of the penumbra as well. The umbra has a well-defined diameter, but the size varies a lot due to variation in the distance from the moon to the Earth, since its orbit is not a perfect circular. I don't know if you guys know this, but that's the same reason we have tides and shit, right? It's not a perfect, the moon isn't a perfect circle. It doesn't make a perfect circle around the Earth. It gets closer and farther away. Sometimes the moon is so far away that it can't feel the sun, and there's no umbra at all. It's called an annular eclipse. Typically, the umbra is 100 to 160 kilometers wide, and the penumbral diameter is in excess of 6,500 kilometers. And this is how you would calculate that. This image, or this is what it looks like when you put that on paper. So if we, the same way I was telling you with a flashlight, if the sun is this big, right, 400 times bigger than the moon, but the moon is 400 times closer, you would take the rays basically come off straight. So you would take those rays where they're going to hit the moon, and it would be a cone all the way down to the path of totality, right? If they were, again, if Phil was right, and they're about the same size, my hands are the same size. If Phil was right and they're about the same size and about the same distance away, which what he believes, they're very close, they're very small, and they're about the same size and same distance away. If this one's a light and this is my hand, when I put the light right up against it, it would block it all. The only way you get a small, narrow band of totality is if this one's much, much further away. The same way with if you make a shadow puppet. If you put the flashlight up against your hand with a shadow puppet, let's say you're making a dog, right? If you put the flashlight up against your hand, you can't see anything on the wall. It's so fucking big, it's blocking all the light. But the further you pull the light away, the smaller the dog would get, the shadow puppet would get. Fucking I don't know how he's explaining this exactly backwards. If the sun is huge and far away and the moon is smaller and closer, then the shadow would be gigantic. No, it wouldn't. Your theory, where they're about the same size and close together, then the flat earth theory is where it would be gigantic. If they're close enough together, it would block out the whole earth would go fucking black. The whole day side of the earth would go black.
About the same size as the moon, and also very close to Earth.
See?
Do you know that NASA predicts solar eclipses based on flat Earth math? Did you know that? That's true. Look at
Wrong. There is no flat Earth math at all. How the fuck can you predict something on a study that doesn't exist? None of the math works with flat Earth. And you're going to tell me they predict solar eclipses based on a flat Earth. Wrong. This is just wrong.
it up. It's called, what the heck is it called? Shoot, let me look it up real quick. I need to know. I want to tell you guys. I posted it on Telegram a couple days ago. So why don't we watch it? Why don't we just watch it real quick? Can I, hold on. What the? Stop it, you. I don't know if I can screen share this. No, I can't. Proves that.
Oh, imagine.
What's called? How does NASA predict eclipses?
Astronomers first have to work out the geometry and mechanics of how the Earth and the Moon orbit the Sun around under the influences of gravitational fields of these three bodies. So right off the bat, he's wrong. The very first step is figuring out, right, the Earth, the Moon, and the Sun's orbit under the influences of their gravity and where they're going to be in the future, orbiting around Earth. All right? From Newton's law of motion, you can use mathematics to work out the motions of these bodies, right? They're going to keep, unless acted on by an outside force, they're going to keep moving at basically a constant rate unless something changes, right? Taking into account the fact that these bodies have a finite size and are not perfect spheres, scientists then feed the current position and speeds of the Earth and the Moon into complex equations and then program a computer to integrate these equations forward and backwards in time to calculate the relative positions of the Moon, Sun, as seen from the vantage point of Earth. So once they come up with an algorithm, all they'd have to do is go back and be like, okay, well, if this is our algorithm, let's put it in. Let's put in the dates. And yep, look, on April 8th, 2024, we had an eclipse. In 2017, on this date, we had an eclipse in this area. Like, they can go back and figure it out.
They use this thing, 5,000-year catalog of eclipses. It says the Saros cycle. That's what I was looking at. Saros, S-A-R-O-S. That's what they use to predict eclipses, the Saros cycle. The Saros cycle is flat Earth math. That's what.
It's not. Eclipses occur in patterns. The Saros cycle, the Saros series and cycle is a period of 223 lunar months that have been used to predict eclipses for thousands of years. So basically, there's this 223 lunar month, which is a 28-day month. Every 223 lunar months, there seems to be an eclipse in a certain area. In a Saros series, exactly 9 years, 5.5 days after any lunar eclipse, a solar eclipse will occur. That's the series. So 9 years, 5.5 days after any lunar eclipse, a solar eclipse will occur. approximately 6,585.3211 days, or 18 years, 11 days, and 8 hours after one eclipse, the sun, earth, and moon return to about the same spot. So, every 6,585 days, 0.3211, or every 18 years, 11 days, and 8 hours, the sun, it doesn't even matter about the eclipse, every 18 years, 11 days, and 8 hours, the sun, the moon, and the earth are about in the same spot. But we don't have an eclipse every 18 years, 11 days, and 8 hours. We don't, because you threw 8 hours into there. The sun's in a different fucking spot, right? 8 hours later. Anyways, for eclipses that belong to the same Saros cycle, the moon will be about the same node and the same distance from Earth, because one eclipse of a Saros cycle occurs just 11 days later in the year than the last one. Earth will be at nearly the same distance from the sun and titled relative to it nearly the same orientation in the same season as it was during the previous eclipse in that cycle. Each total eclipse path of totality looks similar to the previous one, but it is shifted 120 degrees to the west. That's your 8 hours, right? If it was just so many days, so many years and so many days, and no time change, the eclipses would happen in the same spot. But you have to shift it 120 degrees to the west each time as well.
NASA uses flat Earth math to tell you when the next eclipse is going to be. And they also know when the next eclipses are going to be too. Saros cycle. It's crazy. So I'm glad nobody's heads flew off, and there were no earthquakes. And
it isn't even math. This isn't even math. It just says in this many years, this many days, so an eclipse occurs on the Earth this many years, this many days, and this many hours from the last eclipse. That's not math. It's not calculating anything. That's just how many days, how many hours, how many weeks. And this was just from observation, because someone wrote down, hey, an eclipse happens here, hey, an eclipse happens here, hey, an eclipse happened here, a lunar eclipse happened here, then 8 years later, a solar eclipse happened here.
CERN wasn't activated, and aliens didn't come down, and I'm glad all that didn't happen today. But I kind of told you it wouldn't, because as I was saying earlier in the show, that the cabal, the deep state, is very much non-existent now. They still have a little bit of power, but not much. And it's very, honestly, it's like, try to think. Okay, I'm good at metaphors. How's the metaphor? That'd be weird in metaphor. Anyway, imagine the white hats are a thoroughbred horse. Hold on, I just joked at nothing. I need to get it. I don't know what happened there. I'm good now. Wow, strange. Imagine the white hats, the Alliance, Trump, MAGA, there we go. Imagine.
So there was a video floating around in 2017, I'm pretty sure, that this guy that was a flat earther said that he could predict the next solar eclipse without looking it up with only flat earth math. And what he did was he went to an astrology website, and he looked up like the last 10 solar eclipses, found out how many years, days, and hours between them that happened, and then he just, whatever that model was, he just added to the next one. That's not flat earth math. It's just using an almanac, bro. Someone explain, this is the flat earth model that Phil lives by. Where's the eclipse at? How does a lunar eclipse happen, and how does a solar eclipse happen? How is this over here going to pass in front of that when they're diametrically opposed by magnetism like you claim? How? What about a lunar eclipse where the Earth's shadow is cast on the moon? You can't even explain to me when the northern hemispheres, when we have summer in America, the sun's closer to America. And when we have winter in America, the sun's further away from America. So on this, it would be a small ring for summer and a big sun ring for winter. That's their claim. That's what they say. But the sun moves at a constant speed. How could the sun possibly go around a ring this big and this big, a huge one, in 24 hours and also be moving the same speed. It's impossible.
The white hats are thoroughbred horse.
Bill just says flat earth math, but that's it. He's like, oh, that's flat earth math.
Race caliber, Kentucky Derby winning, muscular big horse, right? And in comparison, the Cabal, the deep state, is kind of more like a 6-month-old puppy. Now, we're not going to race them. We're just going to see who's more powerful.
Hell, just tell me the phases. We don't even have to do an eclipse. Just tell me the phases of the moon. How do I see a half a moon? How is it not a full moon all the time?
When we think of the puppy has a couple things going for it. It's small, and it's relatively quick in terms of, like, if the horse wanted to trample it, the puppy could just keep going around and around and around. And eventually, that hoof's going to come down and just crush its skull, right? What
is he talking about? A horse killing a puppy? Kind of fucking twisted fucking fantasy is this, Phil? Sorry, I had to fire up my pen turbo. A horse killing a puppy. A puppy's quick, but eventually the horse is going to stomp right through that puppy.
And that's kind of what we're going to do to the ball.
Listen, Tim. Imagine I brought in a watermelon to the court. Are you going to let me tell my story? Just bear. I'm trying to teach you something here, Tim. When I was at Harvard, I thought about this exercise. Imagine I brought a watermelon into the courtroom.
But that's the best comparison I could give you right now. Thoroughbred horse, big, muscular, strong, get out of its way to a little puppy. That's what I could describe.
Okay.
Most, if not everything, of what we're seeing
Bill's farm
has happened already. And this is kind of a replay in a large sense of the things that happened between 2017 and 2020. Now, I said this before and I'll say it again. The White Hats and Trump, I don't believe that they fully intended to lose the White House in 2020.
Okay.
And if they did intend to lose the White House, I think that they thought that it would have been rectified before the inauguration in numerous different ways. And then here we are, 4 years later. Isn't that crazy? 4 years of this crap we've been through. I want to tell you guys something right now. And hear me. Hear me close. Does my shirt say Supreme? It does. You really want to see my shirt? There you go. Supreme Necrolector. Swing this to a lecture. A lot of people tell me I sound like Method Man when I rap. A lot of people say it. What are the chances of all those people being wrong all at the same time? Not good. So, just going to go with it.
I don't think it's a hidden message to Bree.
I don't believe we get to an election in November of 2024. I've said that before. You guys have heard me say that.
No election. Will not make it.
She's texting me. She says no one says that. Yes, they do. A lot of people do. How would she know? How would she know? They don't say it to her. So how would she know what they say to me? She wouldn't know that, right? Exactly. Method Man. Like, you sound like Method Man. Are you Wu-Tang? That's what they say to me. I'm like, nah, man. Now, I'm not saying that I think it. I'm saying that other people think it. Who might argue with them? Anyway, I don't think there's going to be an election in 2024. I've said that many times. There's going to be a huge event that occurs prior to November. If I had to guess at this point, I don't know the exact timeline. I wish I did because I'd be talking about it if I did. If I had to guess what that timeline will be, considering right now it's April 8th. By the way, happy birthday to my son. My son turned 9 years old yesterday, April 7th, and it was a very emotional day for me because I can't believe he's 9 and like as big as he is. I can't believe it. It's just mind-boggling. So I love you, Colton, more than anything in the world. I know one day you're gonna be watching this. You're like, Dad, you were young back then. Shut up. That's what I'm gonna say. I'll still kick your ass.
You think your kids are gonna rewatch it? I don't think they will. I don't think my kids will watch my shit.
I don't think there's gonna be an election in 2024.
Okay.
I think there's gonna be a major event that happens before that. And if you look at the timeline of what that event,
another event coming. That's right.
I can't see it occurring any later than like a July. Any later than a July. Anything after that, then you'd have to proceed to an election. And to be honest with you, I don't know what the benefit of going to an election is. Now, even if we have control of the elections, I don't know what the benefit of going to an election is. Now, before you get all bent out of shape, okay? You might not like what I have to say next. But before you get bent out of shape, many of you have been following me since Facebook, which was pre-election 2020, right? Probably around now, like around spring, summer 2020 is when I started going, right?
Oh my goodness, yeah.
Many of you have been following me since then. And in those 4 years that we've been doing this, I have read and heard and seen direct messages and emails and text messages and comments on Rumble, Telegram, DLive, Locals, Facebook, X,
the cicadas.
That we will not.
The cicadas are going to hatch in Alabama, fly to D.C., and carry Joe Biden away from the podium while he's giving a speech.
Survive another 6 months. I heard this in January of 2021. We will not survive 6 months of this. Yet there you are, 4 years later. Then I heard it again at the end of 21 when Trump was supposed to be back by the end of 20.
Wait. No. You were the one saying, if Trump doesn't come back, if Biden gets inaugurated, if he doesn't stop this, we were the people saying, hey, you guys remember when Obama was elected and they're like, oh my God, he's a Muslim and the whole world's going to be destroyed and nothing's going to happen. No, it's just the party you don't like. He'll have his time in the White House and then it'll end and then life goes on. You were the guys saying, Trump's got to do something. He's got to get back in there. We got to get Joe Biden out of office. He's going to destroy the world. Everything's going to fall apart. Nothing's going to happen. We're all going to die. They can't let him be inaugurated. It'll never happen. The military will step in. This is treason. Everybody knows this will never go through. It'll never happen. Trump will be back. But he wasn't. Just like we said. You can't change it now and be like, everybody said it. And I was like, calm down. It's under control.
21, I heard it again. In 2022, we can't take another year of this. You're saying the end of 22? We can't take another year.
You said that.
A year and a half later, sitting right.
You said that. You said these things, Phil. We can't last another year. We'll never make it. We won't last another 6 months with Joe Biden. We won't make it. We won't pull through. If Trump won't pull the switch, I will. That was a quote from you, bro. That was you. Where do they get this shit from? How quickly you guys forget? How quickly it all goes away.
Right there. You did survive it, didn't you? And you're still sitting right there. You might not have liked it. You might have been pissed off at the world the entire time, but there you are. You're sitting right there. You're still listening to me. Why did the plan go south and why wasn't Trump back when he was supposed to be all those times? Look, when you talk to Trump about that, or if you see somebody asking Trump about that, look at his reaction. He doesn't like it either. He didn't want this. Do you remember? Right after the inauguration, Trump went completely silent for like 3 months. Nothing. Not a tweet.
They've said this at every turn. I can't see us having midterms. I can't see the military letting this happen. I can't see the inauguration of Joe Biden happen. There's no way that they're going to inaugurate all these people at one during midterms. There's no way they're going to take office. There's no way they're going to let him sign this. There's no way he's going to do that. He's going to be out of there by March the 4th. Remember? Have you seen the prices at Trump Hotel? That's because March the 4th, Trump's coming back. That was in 2021. And I'm glad because we won't survive another few months. There's Chinese troops at the Canadian border ready to take over. Turns out it was an all-female MLM that was just dressed in camis.
Not a comment, nothing. For like 3 months, complete dead silence. You know why? Because he was pissed. Pissed. He was so pissed that this was the direction that we had to go. He did not want that direction at all. Pissed.
Trump's never been quiet for 3 months.
Yet here we are.
Bullshit.
2024, April of 2024. Less than 7 months before we're supposed to vote. I still don't think that election's happening. I think there's going to be a big event. I do have some intel tonight too, by the way. I get a little bit of away already, but I'm going to do one.
Huge event.
It does have to do with the eclipse, by the way.
Very big. It's an eclipse event.
Something big. I have guesses. I have guesses on what the event could be, or would be, or should be, or will be. So I just asked over here in chat. I'm not going to answer a lot of questions just yet. So, but this is a good one. If Trump is commander in chief or isn't commander in chief, who's making these decisions? That'd be the military. That would be the military of the United States. And when I say military, it's not the army or the navy or that type. It's the lieutenant.
It's the lieutenants and generals.
And the generals in very high positions. Military of the United States. And when I say the military, it's not the army or the navy or that type. It's the lieutenants and the generals in.
Phil, what rank do you think lieutenant is? Do you think generals are like up at the top, right? And then right below that's lieutenants? Is that what you think? You're wrong, okay? You're wrong. You're very wrong. And you keep saying this, and I keep correcting you, okay? Lieutenant is the lowest officer. This is 4 years of college, join the military, you're a lieutenant. Stop including these two groups of people together. It is second lieutenant, first lieutenant, captain, major, lieutenant colonel, colonel, brigadier general, major general, lieutenant general, general of the military, or general of the army, general of whatever, 4-star general. Stop including these together. It's a 4-star, then general of the army, a 5-star. Lieutenant is lieutenant is like being a private. Lieutenant is like being a private. It's what you start at. You got to stop putting these two things together. That's not the way it works. This is the lieutenants and the generals. Really? You think the lieutenants and the generals are working together on this? Is that what you think is going on? You're wrong. I mean, but I don't. How many times have I got to tell you you're wrong? This is the difference between being a private and a command sergeant major. Private is like you just joined the military. That's what they give you the first day you come in. And command sergeant major is someone who's dedicated his life to the military. And most people that have enough time in to get that rank will never get it. Just like a general, right? You have tons of people that just stall out, and even if they stay in longer, they're not going to get a general. You won't get to sergeant major of the army or command sergeant major. They couldn't be further apart in rank. You make it sound like lieutenants and generals are like the top two. They couldn't be further apart. You just don't understand rank structure of the military.
Very high positions. Do you guys remember Chris Miller, when he was asked, it was right around January of 21, could have been a little bit maybe later in 2021. He said that he had to look the guy in the eye in person to see if he trusted him or not. I can't remember that lieutenant's name, but it was a lieutenant. It was a big, big, badass lieutenant in the United States military. And this guy, because of the position that he was in, had a lot of power. And I think he also had the power to completely put the kibosh on the entire White Hat plan. And Miller really needed to know if he could trust that guy. I went over that in my devolution series. First of all, devolution wasn't mine. I didn't come up with devolution. Devolution and continuity of government has been talked about.
There's no big. There's no big fucking lieutenant in charge of shit. That didn't happen. That didn't happen. I don't know who you're talking about, but that didn't happen.
By numerous people, from Patel Patriot to what's that idiot with the hat, the crazy funny hat, cowboy hat. He's really mean. What's his name? Oh, talks about continuity of government all the time. What's his name? Funny cowboy. Not funny, like ignorant and rude. What is his name? The rude
Derek Johnson.
Guy that talks about continuity of government. Derek Johnson, that's it. Son of a, I couldn't think of his name.
Jesus.
He's mean. He's a mean guy. It's not fun to listen to. But that doesn't make him wrong. He's right. He's right about continuity of government and devolution, because that's what we're in. We're in continuity of government right now. We're in devolution right now. And there's a very small handful of people who make those high up decisions that if those people wanted to, they could just completely push Trump and the White House aside and just give the power back to the cabal, so to speak. That's how things have teetered over the last 4 years. That's how close things have been, from going one way or another. Let me ask you guys a question. Then we'll get into some intel, then we'll do a Q&A. Oh, I have an announcement too to make, by the way. A couple announcements, actually. I should have did those first, whatever. So here we are in 2024, right? You will agree with me that we're in 2024? Okay, good, because I'm right about that. Do you honestly think, this is rhetorical, so please don't answer in the chat, but do you honestly think that if the cabal were still in control, what do you mean iron my shirt? My shirt is perfect. It's perfect. It's a very heavy t-shirt, like super heavy. I'm hot.
Wow. How easily do we get distracted? What do you mean iron my shirt?
Sitting here wearing it, and it's also baggy. It's supposed to be. This is what the Supreme outfits are like. So you're seeing stuff. It's not wrinkled. It's just, that's how, like when I move my shoulders up and back, you can see what I mean? Now they're not there anymore, but when I put my arms down, they are. But see what I mean? So it's, of course, I would iron my shirt. Anyway, do you think you would be sitting here in 2024 after almost 4 years of this bullshit that we've been through, right? 3.5 years at least, going on 4. Do you think that you'd be sitting there do you think you'd be sitting there still able to listen to somebody like me? Not just me, but somebody like me? Don't you think that if the cabal or the deep...
You ought to be disgusted by now. So you can either believe that the cabal's been defeated and that's the only reason Phil's allowed to broadcast anymore, or none of this is true. Phil's become a multimillionaire and no one cares what he says online because none of it's accurate anyways.
If they were actually in control of anything important, they would have silenced us immediately, shut down Rumble. Don't you think that would have happened? Of course it would have. Of course it would have. Don't you think that by now they would have taken your guns away from you? They would have done something about the Second Amendment? You think that they're going to let people who think the election was stolen run around with these platforms to speak to people with and have guns? You would have lost all your guns. You wouldn't be able to listen to anything except what they wanted you to listen to.
Or none of the shit he's peddling is true. That's the other option, right? Either the cabal would have taken me out by now, or they, you know, they've been taken out, or they don't exist. I mean, sure, there's backroom deals between this senator and that fucking business, and people are passing laws just to help out their cousin's construction business. That happens all the time. But there's no organized group of cabal feasting on babies. It's just not going on.
If this was Agenda 2020,
you don't think they could have... I found Phil and everything about him and his background and everything he does, that he didn't work for the CIA. He's never had a fucking security clearance. He never worked for any three-letter agency. He's never done any of that. You don't think they could have found him and been like, first show he did. Nope. You're too much of a threat. Bye.
And they got what they wanted. You would not only have lost your ability.
A ton of people watch my 6. A ton of people. 200,000 followers on Rumble. How many views does this have? Doesn't it have like a little eye that shows how many views? I can never remember where it's at. He has 47,000 live viewers. 890 live viewers on Rumble. 47,000 live viewers on Rumble. And I'm sorry, 890 on locals when he was streaming last night.
Ability to discern for yourself, but you would have lost the ability to defend yourself. Do you honestly think they wouldn't have come and just arrested?
Or 2 nights ago, I'm sorry.
Anyone at all who didn't...
Oh, no, it's after midnight. It was last night.
With their agenda? I mean, that alone just shows you that we are in control and have been in control for a very long time. I know it doesn't seem like that, and part of the reason why it doesn't seem like that is because what's actually happening, the good stuff that's happening, is still behind the scenes.
What if I told you you have to take all your money out of the bank and put it at your house? And you're like, why should I do that? And I was like, you just have to do it just for a week. You have to take all your money out of the bank and put it at your house. You're like, wow, what's going on? And I say that the super scary bad guys are going to, if they know your money's in the bank, they're going to rob your bank account and take all your money if they know your money's in there and they can see it, whether it's in there or not. And you're like, oh shit. And you take all your money out of the bank. No robbery happens. And a week later, and I'm like, oh, you can put your money back in your bank account now. So it could be true that there was a group of super scary thieves that could see your bank account. And if you left your money in there, they were going to rob you. Or it could be that none of that existed, right? And if you left your money there, it would have just been fine. I just made it all up. So this is the same exact thing as what Phil's saying. Do you think if the cabal was still in charge, that they'd let me talk to you and they wouldn't confiscate your guns? Or none of that's going on and no one cares what Phil says? I love gold.
I know that sucks.
Gold member.
Yeah. Chances are you still might pop on the news and stuff. Or at least even if you don't, you might listen to your friend or your colleague at work or something, right? So it's still in the back of your mind. And I know how it is, trust me. When this whole thing with Alvear happened, since Christmas Eve, it really bothered me. It really bothered me a lot. And it really affected me.
Oh, no.
And I can admit that now because it doesn't bother me anymore because now I'm completely in control of this whole thing going forward. But before, I felt like I was just in no control of anything. You know, I just felt like,
God, he's going to lose so bad.
Like, this guy can do and say whatever he wants. And what could I do? Why do courts?
And I wish he didn't, right? It's so when Nick loses in court, it's going to be for the things that he said outside of his movie. I don't think Phil's got very actionable claims or statements that were made in the movie. It's going to be for stuff outside the movie. All these podcasts and live streams, Telegram posts and all that. When Nick loses this case. The billboards, the flyers, walking around his neighborhood, all that shit is what he's going to lose on. But when he loses, Phil's going to use that as evidence to say, look, the movie's fake. See, I won this case. It's all bullshit. He lied to everybody, and I proved it in court that I'm innocent.
You know, like, why can't something happen now? So, like, that really bothered me.
But we couldn't get the fucking cocaine line to shut the fuck up.
I was out of it for a good couple months. He really got to me for like 2 months. Solid 2 months. Terrible, terrible, terrible. And you know the one thing that I said to myself, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. I can't do it because...
Man, Phil, you got beautiful eyes, bro. No homo. Gulp. Gulp.
It just gets me, you know, worse and worse and worse and worse and worse. I'm not...
Yes, he's given Phil an alibi. Or a get out of trouble free card or whatever you want to call it, right? When Phil takes this win, he's going to use it, any win, If for some technicality he wins against the Scranton Times or he wins against Bree, or I don't think he will, but the best shot, obviously, I think he's going to win against Nick. If it was me and I was just looking specifically at the law and the statements that were made outside of the movie, again, go watch the movie, whatever, outside of the movie, the advertising campaign, the post, all that, and just looking at the law, Nick violated the law in a substantial way. I've spoken to lawyers who are like, oh yeah, this guy shouldn't have went that far. This guy shouldn't have said that. He really said this. He's lost, right? If he would have just shut up, but now he's given Phil this out where he can say, look, I went to court. I proved that it was all a lie. It was a hit piece is what it was. Yeah, we may not have won against the Scranton Times and Bree because that was in a different county, and over there's a bunch of Democrats, and I think they knew what they were doing. I think they knew what they were. But once I got this one to federal court in the county I live in now, where the right people are in charge because we're taking back America, they knew what was going on. They knew. It's all settled now. Nick's literally giving him an out, and he won't shut the fuck up. He's still making crazy statements. Like he's like, oh, you want to know, you want to see a case of how a lion takes down a convicted pedophile who can't see his kids because he'd fuck them? Well, just what? He's still making claims right now. He's making posts that he can't substantiate or defend in court.
Freaking channel on Telegram. I'm not gonna read it. I'm not gonna read the channel. I'm not gonna watch his videos. You know what I did anyway? Every freaking day, I read the damn channel and I watched the damn videos. You know what it did? It just made me angry. It got me off track. It got me off course. He just completely distracted me. Completely. It's never happened to me before in any facet of life.
Probably.
I actually said to him, I know you guys want to talk about all of your brothers. I said to him in a text message, I said, you got me. You're lying about the things that you're saying, but you got me. Like, you completely distracted me and you took me off my game, and kudos to you for doing that, because no one could do that to me. Good job. But once I got over that, then it's just, now I'm back. No. So I know how it feels to.
No, I don't think it's that coordinate. Nick's too goddamn dumb. He'd already said it. Nick's too goddamn dumb. He'd already come out and been like, well, if this Phil operation goes through, then I've helped my buddy out. Like, he would have said something so stupid. It's unintentionally doing it. He's just that dumb. He's just that dumb. Phil posted the FBI is involved in the lawsuit. The FBI is not involved in a civil case. Now, has Nick done something to violate his federal probation? Maybe. I don't know. But the FBI is not involved in a civil defamation suit. That's so fucking stupid.
Something to see what's going on with the world, in this case, in the political, arena. Just like I had to check those damn channels. I had to see what they were saying. It's kind of like, you must have to do that, right? You must feel the need to want to do that. I did. And that's why you feel depressed. But honestly, I've said this before so many times, and I stand by it to today. You and I and everyone are living through the greatest time in human history.
Oh my goodness.
And
I came in my pants twice already.
You compare what we're going through now to when Jesus.
If I started selling merch that says I came in my pants twice already, would you guys buy it? It's just a t-shirt and it says, hello, my name is ... I came in my pants twice already. Sorry.
Jesus Christ. Walk the earth. I think you can. I really think you can. Because we are just. By the way, guys, I am very sorry that all of these trolls are on Rumble spreading these links. Please do not click those links. They take you to something that these people are trying to sell you that has nothing to do with me. It's, oh, New York is on this and Q is back.
I can't believe. I'm gonna be honest with you. Usually I'm pretty good at spotting somebody who's intelligent, who's just fucking dumb, who would be like a good con man, and who's just fucking stupid, right? Who's making it up and who's just swindled. They themselves are swindled because they're so fucking retarded. But I honestly thought that Nick and Z and Script would put up. I can't believe they thought like, oh, we're just going to talk shit to Will. Z actually said, I blocked all his followers because my community asked me to. But I'm not blocking Will. I'm going to destroy him. I'm going to take it every day. I'm going to be in his face. Oh, really? It took 3 days to get you to block me while we all pointed and laughed. You got me, dude. Fucking retards.
It's all fake. It's all fake. Anybody that replies to you in the comments down below on Rumble, that's not me. It's going to say, Phil got less, you're like 15.
But that's not what he was convicted of. Yeah, probably. Those statements are probably true, but that's not what he's convicted of, and that's not part of his sentencing. when he was convicted before Megan's Law went into effect, and he was convicted of corruption of morals of minors, and it had no stipulation about him using the internet or him being within how many feet of a school or any of that. The only stipulations it had was he was not supposed to contact a minor until she was 18, and he was on fucking house arrest and shit, all that stuff.
Eyes, and then like a series of numbers, not me. So many people are getting scammed by these crooks that are pretending to be me. Lynn Wood is actually getting sued right now in this exact scenario. Somebody pretended to be Lynn Wood and like scammed someone out of their money, and now Lynn's getting sued because the attorney for the victim didn't have enough smarts to actually see if it were Lynn Wood or just like a fake scam account of Lynn Wood. He's getting.
I don't know if that's true. I haven't heard about this. He got sued by his ex-partners, right? And he lost that defamation case. So he basically said that his ex-partners were trying to kill him, trying to get him disbarred, trying to get him fired. You guys remember when he said that Elon Musk teamed up with his daughter? This is Lynn Wood. Elon Musk is a CIA asset and teamed up with Lynn Wood's daughter to have him committed to a mental hospital. That was a statement that Lynn, when these people first came out, I think I was caught up in it too, like everybody else. When people that had a lot to lose, right? They've got a name for themselves. They've got a business. They make money. They've got a persona. Like me, okay? I'm not going to come out on someone's side and jump on a bandwagon if I don't have some details and risk everything. Like, I don't have much, but I mean, I got my credibility, and I got this small YouTube channel. Hopefully it grows. I don't have much, but I wouldn't risk it, right? If I didn't know anything about Phil, and Phil messaged me, and he's like, hey, man, I'm on Rumble too, blah, blah, blah. I need you to come out and tell people this didn't happen. No goddamn way. But when all these people first came out in support of Trump after the election, I was caught up in it too. Like, why would they risk their job? Why would they do this? Why would they do that? Why are they throwing it all away? Are you kidding? If the stuff they're saying isn't true, they're going to lose everything. They're going to be fucking laughingstock. So I put some validity into their claims. But then the more we went through their claims, the more we watched more than just this 30-second clip, or listened to more of this audio, or checked on the stuff that their technology experts or whatever were sharing. It was all just a fucking lie, and I think they knew it. And it was a quick wave of popularity, money coming in quick, but then kind of falling off with anybody that's not a Q-tard.
Because of that. So please don't click anything. I'm not going to reply to you in the Rumble comments. And these people are putting.
Oh, anyways, he made false comments about his colleagues, and he lost that slander, libel, whatever it was. Basically, he went on Telegram telling people that his partners were trying to take him out, that they were extorting him. And basically what they said is like, hey, stop this or we're going to sue you. And that was the extortion, threatening to sue him to just extort money. And when he had a chance to prove that these statements were true, that was the truth is always a defense to defamation and libel, slander, or whatever. When he had a chance to show that it was true, he didn't at all. He didn't try to show that any of these claims were true. Or that they were texting him saying, hey, stop talking shit about us. But for slander and libel to be true, it has to go to a third party. Well, he was putting it on platforms that put it out to third party. All they were doing is telling him to stop, or we're going to have to sue. He was held in contempt twice in court. $42,000, $52,000 something in attorney fees they had to pay for these other three lawyers. He left this firm in 2020, by the way, when everything else was happening. I don't know. It was just all crazy.
Stuff in the comments on Rumble. The links that you see there, here's one. Q is back. Audio recording. Hillary Clinton goes viral. You can hear it. It's fake. It's completely fake. And my mods are doing a good job of muting these people, but it's difficult because there's so many. Great time for me to mention Locals. Locals has none of this. Hey guys on Locals, do you have any trolls over there spamming links all over? We got about 3,200 watching right now on Locals. You guys have any people over there that are spamming links like crazy? Let me see all my Locals comments.
Oh God, yeah, where he's nope. Send that to the Illuminati. Send that to the House of Windsor. Send that to the kids in the baby tunnels. But why? Why? Why are they doing this to us? Yeah, he lost his fucking mind on that stage. I wish I want to find a clip of that. Hold on. That's right. I'm drawing a Q. I'm drawing a Q right here and you can tell that to Q. And you can tell that to the Illuminati. And you can tell that to the House of Windsor. That was crazy. God. And the Adrenochrome babies. Why are they doing it to us? Why? What was it called? I'm trying to find a good video of it. It was the, what's the guy that's the DJ? What's his name? The guy that puts them all on, the Faith, Freedom, or whatever things. What's the guy's name? I forgot if I remember that on stage. In the rant. Cocoa Puffs. He's wearing a MAGA hat too. Yeah, it was, we cover him all the time. I can't remember his damn name. Clay Clark. Thank you. A Clay Clark event. I want to see if I can find a clip of him at this Clay Clark event. Reawaken America tour. I don't think they ever had him back. This is the only one he did. This was the only one he did. He did one Reawaken America tour. Lost his fucking mind on stage. Send that to the House of Windsor. Oh, God. Lost his shit, dude. Had this fucking meltdown. And they never invited. I don't think he went to another event. Is this it? Empowered this week. Clay Clark is talking. God, how long is it going to take him to come out? They had to go pick him up at the airport. By the way, Clay Clark is a pretty good grifter that no one really talks about. So he already had this venue rented out for this Bible. It's at a Bible college, and it was for like an entrepreneurship training. So he already had the event. He saw what was going on with the stolen election, maggots and people or whatever, the Q people. He saw that was going on. He already had this event. And he's like, how can I can't just, people have already paid for my entrepreneurship event. How can I turn this into something else, right? So what he did was he moved the entrepreneur event, happened from 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. Then you had to come back at 7 p.m. or 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. And in the middle was this Q event. Crazy. Send that to the House of Windsor. He's trying to get his pants zipped back up.
Thank you. Thank you for.
And it's us fucking retards that made these people celebrities.
Thursday, had a chance to speak Thursday night, the opening dinner. And so this is 3 days.
Try not to respond to RestreamBot. It's actually the name after RestreamBot that you're responding to. RestreamBot just takes a message from YouTube and puts it on Twitch, or a message from Twitch and puts it on YouTube.
For those of you who've been here the whole 3 days.
All it's doing is repeating the message. There is nobody named RestreamBot.
Those of you that have been here for 2 days, do you feel stronger?
Yes. You feel stronger?
Is your faith stronger?
Yes!
Is your trust in God Almighty stronger? Do you feel the Spirit of God inside of you growing stronger? Do you feel like you're covered by the blood of the Lamb?
He's getting wound up, boy. He's like a steam engine, buddy. They just fucking shoveled the goddamn coal in there, and he starts fucking huffing and puffing. He's getting. Is your faith in God stronger? Is your spirit in America stronger? Is your belief in Donald John Trump stronger? Or you can send that to the House of Windsor.
Where two or more gathered in His name. God Almighty is here.
Woo!
The numbers.
Get him!
And the more of you that congregate together, that pray to God together, that speak to your best friend Jesus Christ together, there's power in the people. Take this spirit, this increased power, take it home to the people around you. Get the message out. Because it's the message of Jesus Christ. Spread the word, share the word. Don't be afraid to speak the truth, speak about God.
We don't even need to get Lin Wood and Flynn in a cage match together. All we got to do is tell Lin Wood that Flynn, we've got confirmed reports he works for the CIA, and he's wearing a cloaking suit, so he appears invisible, and then just watch him fight the air.
We covered health.
He thinks that Elon Musk, backed by the CIA, convinced his daughter to come tell him, "Hey, Dad, his daughter and son. Hey, Dad, we're worried about you. Maybe we should just get like a psych eval or something done." He thinks that Elon Musk used Twitter and the CIA to manipulate his kids into trying to get him to have a psych eval.
We cover freedom. We did not spend enough time talking about the children.
The children. But why? Why do they take our children's?
I got some notes here. Bear with me while I read them. Matthew 19, verses 13 through 15.
Candace Taylor's a fucking nut job too. That should have been your first sign. That fucking God, guns, and babies and Trump.
Brought unto him little children, that he should put his hands on them and pray.
Is the first Pike Clark event. I don't know the day.
Jesus said, "Suffer little children and forbid them not to come unto me, for of such is the kingdom of heaven." And he laid his hands on them and departed thence. Jesus loved the little children. God
guns, babies, and Trumps.
And when we talk about health, don't forget we need to talk about the health of the little
Whatever,
children.
it's wrong.
When we talk about freedom, we need to talk about freedom for the little children.
Psycho.
It's time for this country.
Here we go. Chugga chugga.
The good, the bad, and the ugly. They are killing our children. You can talk about Q.
Y'all mean to talk about Q? I'll put this on the cover of Newsweek. That's a Q for you.
But let's talk about you. Let's talk about your responsibility to the children.
Okay. No one, less than 1% of the population doesn't think we should protect kids, right? The problem is, while you're chasing Nancy Pelosi down in a lizard-ran alien baby tunnel underground in a deep underground military base that doesn't exist, some guy a couple houses over is abusing his niece. Or, he's the godfather or the dad's friend or the mom's friend, or mostly male, but females do it too. It's happening in your neighborhood. It's not happening in deep underground bunkers where they got baby farms. It's happening in your neighborhood. And as long as you're like, everybody that disagrees with Trump is a pedo, you're not looking at the actual people who are committing crimes against children.
Child sex trafficking is the pandemic.
Yes.
Pedophilia is the pandemic. They are sacrificing the children to worship Satan. It's not a stop. It is not a stop. Because you, the people, are going to tolerate. You, the people, are going to protect the little children. succeed.
No, they won't.
Well, they did. That's true. They did.
Harm your health. They will not succeed.
I've had 4 hits of this air duster, and I'm feeling like Lynn Wood.
Stolen our children. They will not succeed. The God is God wrath. And when you mess with the little children, watch out.
Because a Q's coming for you.
Every lie will be revealed, and that includes every lie about what they've been doing.
Are you retarded? You think I said that human trafficking doesn't exist? Why would we have a word for it? I said that lizard alien run tunnels underground with baby farms and Nancy Pelosi doesn't exist. Is that human trafficking? Are those two things equal?
To our children.
I don't think I need to be clear on any of that. I have 0% chance of human trafficking doesn't exist and lizard alien deep underground military bases with Nancy Pelosi and baby farms of equating to each other. I don't think I need to be any clearer on that. Not a cloud in my fucking sky over here.
If you protect the little children, you protect everybody. Yes. But if you don't protect the little children, you protect no one. Protect the little children.
Yeah. Protect them. Ankle monitors for kids. That's what I say.
They gave me this.
Put some type of chip in them that disables them if they're taken out of 100 meters of their parents.
VIP.
Maybe get like a key fob remote that you can activate them, deactivate them on your phone or something.
I'm not a VIP. I'm just one of the children who you take this.
You take that.
I did sign it for you.
It's gonna be worth millions one day. You just wait. When I owe $46,000 in legal fees and several $1 million to all my old business partners in my law firm, that's gonna be worth some money. I might need you to sell it and give me some of it.
Do your research. Don't take it from me. Don't take it from whoever Q is.
Oh, who is he?
Learn about yourself. Study about the Illuminati.
The problem with human trafficking is they vastly exaggerate what it is. Is it a problem? Yes. Should it be zero? Absolutely. The closer we can get it to zero, awesome. Is it ever going to be zero? Probably not. It's almost impossible. There's no crime that's at zero, right? We haven't eliminated the government, the military, the cops, whatever. They don't take any crime down to zero. So it's still going to happen. We should try to reduce it as much as possible. But when we're running around saying 800,000 kids are kidnapped by Democrats a year, that's just not true. Like, those are reported missing children, and those include children that are found 2 minutes after someone says this child is missing. Those include children that went to stay with their dad. Those include parents that missed their custody exchange meetup. Those numbers are vastly exaggerated, and they try to make it like it's this huge thing, and we're worried about this over here when it's actually a lot of prostitution, a lot of illegal immigrants, a lot of neglected children, a lot of children without some type of parent figure that either is there or cares for them in the house. Like it's when everybody says, let's say we were having 1 million car crashes a day in your town, okay? 1 million car crashes a day in your town. And you're like, we need driver education courses. We're having 1 million car crashes a day. We need driver education courses. We got to educate the drivers on how to drive better. We got to get people prepared. And everybody's going to driver education courses. And then you find out the problem is the car manufacturers aren't putting brakes on the cars anymore. It doesn't matter how many times you send somebody to a driver's education course to try to stop crashes from happening. If the cars don't have fucking brakes when people get them, you're fixing the wrong you're looking in the wrong direction because you heard a big number and you're trying to fix it with something that's not going to fix the fucking problem.
Study the statistics about child sex trafficking and the number of children that are missing every year in this country and the world. Do your research.
Do it. By the way, Lynn sued his neighbor once, or ended up in a legal battle with his neighbor once over something, and he claimed that he had known for 2 years that his neighbor had a secret underground complex underneath his home where he was kidnapping, raping, and torturing children, and he didn't report it to law enforcement. Now, that's Lynn's claim. If he's telling the truth, why the fuck didn't he report it? How many kids could have been horrifically tortured in his neighbor's underground dungeon over 2 years? He didn't bring it up until he's in a lawsuit with a guy in civil court. Never took it to the police. Never took it to criminal court. Never raised a red flag. Never reported it. Never filed out a single police report. Never even made a call about it. But then when he's in civil court, he suddenly remembers and decides to tell them that his neighbor's got a child torture complex under his house. So either Lynn does lie or Lynn's a piece of shit. One of the two.
Educate yourself.
Adrenochrome.
Your own conclusions, not mine.
You know how you make adrenochrome? You take an expired EpiPen, because EpiPen manufacturers make EpiPens expire after 1 year from manufacture, even though research shows they're 100% good 2.5 years after the expiration date. Take an expired EpiPen after it's been manufactured for a year, open it up, and leave it outside. Adrenochrome. Boom. Done. Oxidized adrenaline.
Q's. Whoever Q is.
Look at, put that on the cover of Newsweek. Look at him. Look at him, do it. Avada Kedavra. He's casting the Harry Potter death spell.
Do your homework, draw your own conclusions, and then stand up for the children, take the fire and the fierceness of God Almighty, and save the little children.
Avada Kedavra. Get him. Get him. Aloha Hamora. That opens the door, I think. Aloha Hamora.
So far, I've been talking about God, and they've been treating me like I was Elvis.
Lumos. Lot. You got it.
Thank you.
Let's see where it gets carried away again.
Thank you very much. I'm a man of God. What you love about Linwood is not Linwood. You love the message of Linwood because I tell you the truth, and you love the truth.
He also accused Lindsey Graham of being into Chinese gay porn in a public arena. He's like, you don't think we know about the gay Chinese men on your hard drive, Lindsey? Which could be true. Right. They try to use it for all kinds of different things. They try to use it for mood stabilization. They try to use it for people with multiple personality disorder, and depression was one of the things, because with depression, you know, you're in the fucking bed a lot. You go from, especially like if you're bipolar, you go from like these super manic episodes to these like super depressed episodes. Atsuko said she's seen it where she lives in China. She's seen Lindsey Graham's gay Chinese porn. I don't know. That's what Atsuko said.
Conspiracy theorists. Why? Because they're telling you that I am a bad.
So he's not a QAnon conspiracy theorist. He's just screaming out, "You trust Q and find the Adrenochrome baby farms."
Messenger. They're trying to attack me because they can't play. Send it to the House of Women.
Here it is. Here's the best part. Send this videotape to Newsweek and the Illuminati.
Send this videotape. Send it to Hollywood.
Send it to him.
Hey, Clay. Send it to the House of Windsor. Yeah.
Send it to Bill Gates. Send it to the Illuminati. I hope he does a stage dive. When I say baby farms, that's not even a joke. They think that the need for adrenochrome is so much that they are using cloning or in vitro or whatever to create babies in beakers that they keep in deep underground military bases. But because these babies are not made the natural God-given way, the adrenochrome that they get from them, from torturing them and graping them and all that shit, is of a lower quality. So they just use that to sustain. But when they want a big hit, they got to come steal your kid from your backyard. That's not even a lie. There are people that believe that. Get them. Get them. Well, they think the only way. So it's just oxidized adrenaline, and you can have adrenaline for the body, or you can synthesize adrenaline, right? They believe that you can only get it by torturing a kid. And when they're terrified they're going to die, that's the only way you can get it. That's what they believe. Not just a kid, but it's stronger in a kid for whatever reason.
Send it to the politicians, the Clintons, the Obamas, the Bushes. Send it to those people because they are involved in child sex trafficking.
Look out. Yeah, I guess so. You can only make it for consumption in a lab. When it's made naturally in the body, I don't think you can even separate it out and withdraw it from a body.
Where it's difficult to tell what's real and what's fake. Who's dead and who's alive and who's dead, who's enemy, who's alive, who's using us for money.
Who's alive, who's really dead.
For God's work. Have discernment, I do. Ask God for it, he'll give it to you. We are Q!
We are cute.
The Pope. Can't forget about the Pope. Send that to the Pope. Tell him, Lynn. No, you haven't. Don't say that in my chat. Somebody delete that. No, you haven't. No, you haven't. You cannot get the chemical compound adrenochrome from. No, you haven't. Don't put that in my chat. I don't know what you saw. It may have been horrible, but it wasn't that. Yeah, I can make a video that looks like that on Telegram. I can make 2 of them right now. That's not what that was. Don't say that in the chat. There are probably videos of people, adults, children being tortured that exist. The sick motherfuckers, even though there's not many of them, they kind of a lot of them get off on recording it and passing it around. There are no videos. Most of the videos are fake. I will tell you that. Like 90%, probably more than 90% of them are fake. But there are no videos of that happening because it's impossible.
I said to you, this was the second harvest. God's going to bring people to you. It's also
The Vatican being rated live. That's right.
because you're getting ready to learn.
It's. I mean, you probably have a better chance of winning the lottery than you do of that video being real.
God is real. That's the second harvest.
John in chat has already found the damn. What's the video? The Hillary Clinton video called? What's the thing? What's it called? It is a Frazzle Drip. Thank you. He's already found the Frazzle Drip source video for the movie that it was in.
But you're going to be
The video that everybody claims they've seen it, but nobody can get it and give it to you.
into this fact that just as God is real, the devil is real. And the devil's children
I gotta do something about my memory. It's getting worse.
will be exposed. Every lie will be revealed. They're killing our children. Senator Mateo. Come from the rock squad. Humanity. The penalty for an act against humanity.
Well, it's not real. It was like, I think it's like a clip of two different things. So there's like some still images that were like from an album cover and something else. Then there's like a grainy video that was like from a movie set.
Humanity is dead.
Yeah, there you go. It's a story made up from multiple bits and pieces.
Every little child is suffering tonight.
Ooh.
Every little child that doesn't know how to get home. For every little child that goes to bed at night. That's
Tim Ballard's one of the worst at perpetuating all these gung-ho, going in, rescuing children, bullshit lies. And then he got, what's his name, that played Jesus to come on there and say Adrenochrome.
being tortured and abused and just wants to see their mom and dad and their family. You fight for those children. Don't you never quit fighting for those little children. Because this is America.
There was those World Corp videos that were going around for a while too that people were talking about on YouTube. No one really knows if they're real or fake. A lot of people will have you believe they're fake. They've been verified. They've done this. That's the one that that everybody claims is John Podesta or whatever. But they've never ever been sourced to anything except they just appeared on the web one day. All right, back to Phil. We gotta get through this. Jim Caviezel, thank you.
Locals rocks. No, sir. No spam. Nope. That is true. Nope. Boobies. No trolls. No trolls ever. Love locals. Locals. It doesn't cost you $15 a month. You can cancel whenever you want. If you buy it for an extended period of time, the cost actually goes down. $15 a month equates to $180 a year. But if you buy a year subscription, I think it's only like $120, something like that. So what I'll do right now is while I'm sitting here, I'm going to use the trolls and spammers to my advantage. And I'm going to list my locals link in Telegram. So if you're looking for a troll-free experience, locals is the way to go. Twitter is a cesspool of terrible people still. And no matter what you do over there, they're, even though Elon's in control, it's hard to micromanage the terrible people on Twitter. I would never advise you to go there. DLive's okay, but you do get spam over there too, and the audio and the video isn't always great. On DLive, it's free, but it's not always great. For $15 a month, I think my locals people are very, very happy. We got like 54,000, I think it was, people subscribed on locals right now. Don't do the math on it.
It's $135 a year, $135 a year, or $15 a month.
Don't do the math. Don't do 50,000. Don't do 54,000 times 15. Don't do that. Don't do it. Don't do it. Or don't subscribe and just deal with the stuff that you deal with. That's all. Okay, I want to talk about a couple things. First and foremost, I promise you guys.
He's claiming that's like $800,000. It would be around $800,000 a month, I think. But I think he's lying everywhere he goes. He's fucking lying.
Big. You guys see what gold and silver are doing? Gold's at, what's that? Let me check real quick. Gold and silver? Where we at? Gold is up to an all-time high as of right now. $2,353 an ounce. It's an all-time high for gold. Silver,
yeah, we've seen some of their videos, I think.
Look at that.
I've covered Tim Ballard a couple times. Actually, believe it or not, I called Tim Ballard out before his movie was even a thing. Like 2 fucking years ago, we were talking about Tim Ballard, his scam on his book, his scam on, he had the original movie, not The Sound of Freedom, but there's a movie before that called Operation something. We called him out, but way before his movie and his sex scandal and everything else came out.
What are Silver Eagles?
It was from someone else's source material, and I did my own research, but it was a lot of this other guy's material. He's got a what's his name? Hold on just a second. I'll look it up. He's got like a first name that can be a man or a woman. and I can't remember what his name is. He is an investigative journalist from the state of Utah that covers a lot of their shit that they got going on over there with the church, with everything that's going on. And it seems like their attorney general's looking the other way, that the church has the real power in the state of Utah, and that the Mormons really run everything. Lynn Packer, thank you. It's Lynn Packer's work. A lot of it's Lynn Packer's work.
Silver American Eagle price charts. Silver American Eagle, as of today, April 8th, is at 5:18 p.m. Pacific.
And to his credit, Tony called out Tim Ballard before I did, like 6 months before I did.
Oh, that's right now. Silver Eagles are $32.65 for a 1 ounce Silver Eagle. $32.65 through the roof. And silver spot price being over $28 an ounce. Remember cup and handle? You guys think I was lying about that? I was lying about cup and handle. I'm lying about it. Let me do one thing here real quick. And then I'll play a short video. We're going to talk about a little bit of intel.
Okay, intel time, finally.
We need left hand clicking. Okay, put up a video here. Just a second. We need left hand clicking. String store Alexa, cruising down the sector. Supreme Neck Protector. Let me find it. Okay, so I
went to see the movie. So the movie is just there are so many glaring issues with the movie. So I understand they take movies a lot of times and they add drama to them to make them watchable, right? And like a creative license to a movie, right? They make it better and watchable. But even the story he tells that the movie's supposed to be based on, all bullshit. Like he makes up 95% of it. So even without the movie, the story that he's supposed to be telling that is the true story, that the movie is based on this true story, not true. It's all bullshit.
I promise you guys that I would figure out a way to get those of you who did not have a 401k or an IRA to roll over, or you were ineligible to roll over, or whatever the case may be. I figured all that out. No matter whether you have your wealth in a savings account or any other account, you can do it now. And let me show you this quick video.
Oh, sweet.
Talk about
as long as we can invest in Phil Silver or Goldco, I'm in. Remember in my interview, Phil tried to sell me. Phil tried to sell me 7K. You remember when I got the 7K appointment with that lady?
Here we go. Okay. Here we go, right? Let me make sure the mic and settings are correct. Make sure they don't go over here yet.
In fact, the Tim Ballard stuff is so bad, he might even be creating sex trafficking himself. So there are several people that left Tim Ballard's group of elites back in the day because he would go to places that were like third world, okay? They were like third world countries. And they would start flashing tons of American money, hundreds and hundreds and thousands of dollars, and saying, hey, bring us girls, bring us girls, bring us girls. They would show up a lot of times. These are testimonies from people that were with him. So I mean, I can't make this up, I didn't make this up. They may have, but there's multiple reports of this. They would bring most of the time legal girls, 18 and older, or whatever the age is for where they're at, 16 and older, 18 and older, whatever the age is. Then they would coerce them younger. We need younger girls. We want young girls, young. The guys would be like, we don't know where to find that. They would pressure them so much that one of the guys went and got his 17-year-old girlfriend and told her to pretend to be 15. They are making a market. It's one thing if someone asks you, hey, you want to rent a 14-year-old girl for the night. It's another thing if you go to them and they say, we don't know anything about that. And you're like, find it. I got the money. If you want the money, go find it. You're creating a market. Then when you leave there, they're going to think that's what Americans want. So the next group that comes in that isn't this elite force that's going to take you down, they see Americans and see a lot of money. What do you think they're going to think those people want? They're creating a market for it. Okay. It's crazy.
Output. Let's go to Camel. Okay, you can hear my voice change here a little bit. Don't worry about that. It's intentional.
Good movie. I like it so far. Very good. Yep. I'm getting it. Perfect. Don't you like Phil's movie? Oh yeah, the stuff with his staff is pretty crazy. Where they had to, we gotta look like we're married, so we should probably sleep in the bed together naked and take showers together. That's creep as fuck. I have lost all of my long-term viewers, like the people that were here for years. They're all gone, and I bought bots. According to Melon's chat, I bought bots and gave them the same names, the same moderator positions, and I talked to them like we've been friends for several years. But they're actually bots that are controlled by the bot farm in bot heaven, is what I like to call it.
Wait, was there seriously no sound on there? Just now? There's no sound on there? Ridiculously stupid. All right, no problem. Hold on a sec.
I control them all. The reason I have 4 monitors is because I have, how many people we got? I've got 30 bots on each screen.
So stupid. Here's what we'll do.
I fell way off, guys.
It's very important
because I described my wife's butthole once.
Market continues to rise, just like it is today. Many of you want to know how to get involved in that, and I promised that I would give you guys a way to do that.
I can never pretend to be.
What else could you possibly do? You know, and especially now that it's rising. You guys are seeing that what we've talked about for the last several years is actually happening in real life now. So there's no better time to do this than right now. Where's the coming from? Where is it coming from? It's nowhere. It's not. It's not playing out of anything. Who's messing with me?
White hats. It's a white hat joke.
Doesn't make any sense. I don't understand.
Oh yeah, he changed his last name to Marquette. I wonder if he knows that, you know, just like Melon's been splattered and baby battered, so has Madison Marquette. I just don't think he got paid as much for it.
It's not.
We can't hear it, Phil, so you can't get your audio to work anyways.
There's nothing playing.
Edward Snowden, folks.
Nothing's open.
Yeah, but Melon was just giving hand jobs for drug money, so you probably could have got it for, I don't know, a 5 spot maybe.
I'm perplexed. I've never been this confused in my entire life. That should not have happened. There's nothing there.
Or at least that's what his wife claims. His wife claims that he was catfishing men online to rob them when they showed up. So he's pretending to be a woman to have sex with men to rob them when they showed up for drug money. And she says that she's not entirely sure, but she thinks some of it may have not been catfishing, just finishing men for drug money.
I even closed
his ex-wife,
Firefox, and I don't understand.
I've lost everything.
That's why
the agri-sales business is gone. In fact, it's so bad. Please consider going to coldbeer.fun and supporting the show. I've lost everything to splattered and baby battered herself, Madison Marquette. I can't even get a conjugal visit with her pedophile husband, who she's not actually married to, at the Department of Corrections in Texas, okay? Because they want a $5 deposit.
There's no sound, because when I turn the sound, unbelievable. Nothing open. Completely revamped Gold Quiz. Gold Quiz is not what it used to be. Gold Quiz is something complete quiz from all the vendors that are on the other side of Gold Quiz. Let me explain to you what Gold Quiz is really quick. Gold Quiz, you will be given, it used to be 401k.com. The link is down below in the description of the Rumble feed. I'll also put it, of course, on my Telegram channel later. If you click Take the Quiz, you have 1 of 3 questions, 1 of 3 answers. Are you considering protecting your wealth and or your savings with precious metals? If you answer no, this is going to kill the quiz. You're going to be taken out. You're just going to end it right there. So we're not going to do that. We're going to hit yes. If you hit maybe, it lets you proceed as well. Maybe just lets the team know that you're not quite sure yet, but you still want a consultation. Okay, we're going to click yes. Question 2, what is the estimated dollar amount that you're looking to protect with precious metals? Now, if you guys remember, it used to be $25,000 or more. We changed this to $10,000. Okay, so this is $10,000 or less or $10,000 or more. Just for the heck of it, we're going to put $10,000 or more. A lot of times these dealers that are on the other end of Gold Quiz, they don't want, if you only have less than $10,000 to invest, they don't want you to put it in precious metals. In case you have an emergency, you may need that. Because getting it back out of precious metals takes a little bit of time. You're not going to be able to get your emergency taken care of if, you know, it's all in metals, right? Question 3, do you have a retirement account or are you looking to buy with cash savings? Let's just put cash savings for now and see where it takes us. This is different. A retirement account will be 401k or IRA, which is what we're...
Phil Silver if it's less than 10K.
It doesn't even let you get to question 5. Now that they know you have cash savings and they know how much, the vendor that you're being referred to here is Goldco. Okay. Now, what you do need to do is sign up. This is different too. Before you had to go to a different, site, whatever. Now you can put your first name, last name, phone number, and email address and
Wait. It's still 25K if it's not cash savings. So if it's less than 25K, I get what? Phil Silver. So if you say retirement account and it's above 25K, you get Goldco. If it's below 25K, you get Phil Silver. If you say savings and if it's above 10K, you get Goldco. If it's below 10K, you get Phil Silver. There's still no new vendors. I've just taken it here 5 times maybe. There's no other options. Cash savings, less than 10K, Phil Silver Inc. Let's do it again. Yes. Cash savings, more than 10K, Goldco. All right, let's go to retirement. Retirement account, more than 25K. Here's an extra question. Let me see what this one is. 401k. Let's say IRA. Goldco. All right. Yes. Retirement. We're going through the same thing, but I'm going to say it's a 401k. More than 25K. That's the only way to get to question 5, I guess. And then I'm going to put it as a 401k, 403b, 457 or similar. And then you get current and former employer. If I'm put current employer, it's going to tell me Goldco. I'm going to do that again and put previous employer. Goldco. So apparently that's just something to get you, I guess just to get you to, let me do that again just to make sure. Yes. Retirement account, more than 25K, 401k, and previous employer. So I guess that's just to single you out so they know who they're talking to because both of them recommend Goldco. Both of those do. So let me do it one more time. Take quiz. Yes. Retirement account. Yes. And if I put less than 25K, I get Phil Silver. So it's still just 2 companies. There's no way to get any other. When he says all the companies I've partnered with over here and all I've found the best is still either his company to sign you up for 7K or his referral to Goldco. That's the only 2 that's still there. I don't know why he keeps trying to tell people there's like 50 companies. There's not.
Schedule your call right from
I'll be right back.
This is different. This was not like this before. Okay. Now, some of you may be eligible to get up to $10,000 in free silver. That's going to depend on a few factors, which I'll go over with you on the phone. This is, I believe, specific to Goldco, the $10,000 silver giveaway. It's not, for absolutely everybody. One thing about Goldco, a lot of people are trying to turn you off to Goldco and to Gold Quiz in general for that matter. Goldco was a 7-time winner of the Inc. 5000 award. 2022 Company of the Year, A+ Better Business Bureau rating, 5,000 plus 5-star reviews on Google, and it's AAA customer rated. Goldco is no joke. Like, they're no joke whatsoever, and I'm proud that they're one of my vendors. They're one of the better ones that you can go to. They're top in the industry. And you can see right here, Goldco is trusted by thousands of Americans to help protect over $2 billion in wealth via precious metals. So, look, I knew that I was going up to the back button and it said, before you go, get the book. So this is what you have to do if you do have cash savings. You have to sign up for the appointment. They're going to dive into some details with you and they'll help you with that. Now we're going to go back to take the quiz one more time. We're going to answer yes to the first question again. We're going to do more than 10,000. This time we're going to do a retirement account. Now, do you have a 401k, a 403b, a 457 or something similar? Or do you have an IRA? Now, this is where it matters for the 59.5 and under rule B, a 457 or something question again. We're going to do more than 10,000. This time we're going to do retirement. You is going up to the back button and it said, before you go, get the book. So this is what you have to do if you do have cash savings.
With our gold and silver team, no rush. Next. Oh, is this I thought this was Goldco as well. Let me see. Is that a different one? Give me just a second. Goldco. Yes. Retirement. Less than 25K. Oh, that's Phil Silver. Fuck, I fucked it up. I should have done cash savings. Hold on. I want to get back to this green screen. Yes. Cash savings. More than 10K. So there may be a third option. I thought this, when it said gold and silver team, I thought this was Goldco too. Let me see. Privacy policy, TNC, and authorized gold. It is Goldco. Just read the fine print. It's just a different plan that Goldco offers. I thought I read that in the fine print. Look. Oh, shit. I didn't mean to put it all the way over there. I'll put it right here. We'll zoom in on this fine print. It says, by clicking the above button, you agree to our privacy policy and T&C and authorize Goldco or someone acting on its behalf to contact you by email, text, message, pre-recorded message, ringless voicemail, or automated telephone technology recording line on a recorded line for marketing purposes. Consent is not a condition of any purchase. Yeah, it's just the same thing. Terms and conditions for Goldco, privacy policy for Goldco. Nothing's changed. It's still just two vendors. They're just pre-selecting whether you have a 401k or not, or 401k or an IRA, and whether you have more than $25,000 for those, or if you have cash, more than $10,000 in cash.
You have to sign up for the appointment. They're going to dive into some details with you.
I don't know. He tries to make it act like he's got 30, 40, 50, the top 100 companies working with him.
To help you with that. Now we're going to go back to take the quiz one more time. We're going to answer yes to the first question again. We're going to do more than 10,000. This time we're going to do a retirement account. Now, do you have a 401k, a 403b, a 457, or something similar? Or do you have an IRA? Now, this is where it matters for the 59.5 and under rule versus the 10% penalty rule or any of that kind of stuff. This is where those questions matter. We're going to say 401k, 403b. Is it with your current employer or your previous employer? We're going to say it's with your current employer. Get result. Boom. Straight over to Goldco again. Okay. So these questions here are completely different.
So it's only Goldco or PSI. That's the only two options you have.
For it to go away. But I
don't know why he acts like it's a bunch of them.
So we have to spend all night on it. We are no longer specific to only 401k or IRA accounts. We have now expanded that. If you have savings that you want to put into a gold and silver backed account and get it out of the fiat dollar completely, we could do that now.
No, the minimum didn't go down. That the minimum is $25K for a 401k or IRA. It is $10,000 in cash. So you're some type of qualified investor. It's $10,000 if you have cash. That's all they added, but it's still the same two companies.
And the reason we can do that now is because you guys have asked for it. You asked me to do that for you, and we've done it. So now we can help a lot more people get into the metals market before these prices go to where everybody thinks they're going to go and everybody is saying they're going to go. Okay. Disclosure: we don't know where they're going to go. We can look at all the graphs. We can look at all the data. We can.
Yeah, the minimum didn't go down. It's a new slot for cash. They already offer. They always offered that at
that doesn't mean we know
Goldco. Okay? He just didn't have it on his website.
If I did, I would never work again. I would never do videos again because I would simply put $10 million on the team that's going to win the World Series and I would cash big time, right?
There you go.
I'd probably still do videos actually, but no one knows for sure. No one knows anything for sure. And anybody that tells you they know something for sure, they are lying to you. So that's how it goes. But the data indicates.
But Phil knows for sure. No one knows. Anybody says that is a liar. But I looked at the data and here's what's going to happen.
Scenarios where this market is going, and you're starting to see it now. $28 for silver has not happened in a long time.
Fuck, it's 120.
And now that it's there, the people that have rolled over already.
I still got 3 miles doing the treadmill.
They're looking at their accounts. They're like, damn, I was reading somebody in Telegram chat the other day that they were up like $200,000 on the.
They're not. So here's what happens. Goldco produces gold and silver that they call investment quality. Now, what is investment quality? It's not a collectible because they're not allowed to use collectibles for 401k IRA investment purposes. They're not allowed because that market's so volatile. The government says you can't buy like a 1948 something coin in mint condition, blah, blah, whatever, right? You can't do that. So instead, Goldco goes to mints and says, okay, we want 1 ounce gold coins. We want 1 ounce silver coins. And they say, okay, what do you want on them? They show them a picture and they say, okay. Now, Goldco is probably paying below spot because they're getting a ton of these minted. Or let's say they're paying spot plus a premium. It doesn't matter. Let's say they're paying $30 an ounce for silver. Because Goldco minted these, and they say, okay, only produce 1,000 of those. They're not technical collectibles, but they do them in limited runs, which doesn't mean fucking anything if it's not a collectible. They do them in limited runs. They call it investment quality bullion. And they charge you $50, $60, $70 an ounce, $300 an ounce. It doesn't matter, right? They charge you way above what its actual spot price is. So when you look up your account, because of rules that the federal government has in place, it is going to tell you you invested $200,000. Your account is now worth $100,000. And you're going to be like, what the fuck? We mean this way because they're talking about selling your metals. Now, if you call Goldco and say, hey, I put in $200,000, just tell me I'm worth $100,000. They're going to say, oh, well, let me tell you here. What you don't understand is we have special investment quality bullion. And from our investment quality bullion, you're just looking at the melt price. We're not melting these special investment quality bullion. When we sell them to somebody else, we'll sell them for $60 an ounce. So really, you're up $100,000. Congratulations. Is that true? No. You're even responsible for finding your own buyer. show me where you're going to find your own buyer that's going to pay, if silver's $28 an ounce, that's going to pay you $60 an ounce because Goldco told you they would.
On the year since they rolled over last year, $207,000 this year since those prices went up. The vendors at Gold Quiz, and there's a few of them, they're going to tell you what they think you should do in terms of gold, versus silver, how much of this you should have, how much of that you should have, how much you should actually put in. Ultimately, it's up to you, but they're going to help you out. They're really good and smart over there, and I trust them. And I hope that I can help you guys take advantage many times before. Just too volatile. So
that's exactly right. Watch
IRA or nothing. As if you guys don't know how to spell goldquiz.com. There it is. All right. The big thing of intel that I have tried hard to get since the earthquake.
Now, why wouldn't they just put? Why would Goldco save a bunch of phone calls and people answering your questions on the phone? Why wouldn't they just put their special investment quality silver price on the website when you go to read your summary on their website with how much you invested? Well, because they're not allowed to. Because the government has decided that is manipulating you. The government has decided that's an underhanded, dirty fucking tactic. And they are manipulating you into believing that you have wealth that you don't have. If the government thinks someone else is manipulating you and makes them stick to the spot price, it's pretty fucking bad.
Remember it there. Oh, there's an earthquake on the East Coast. Those tectonic plates must be moving. No. There's no tectonic plates. That was a lie that you learned in elementary school, probably about the 5th grade or so, right? That was a
Phil can't spell tectonic plates. He spelled it Tecchtonic. Tectonic. He is right when he made this post. Let me see if I can find it. He is technically right when he said there are no tectonic plates. That was right. It's because he can't spell tectonic.
Lie. There's no tectonic plates. They don't move either. And they don't push magma up and becomes lava and this ring of fire, volcanoes go off. It's all a lie. It's all a lie. So what we felt on Friday was not a naturally occurring earthquake. Did the earthquake? Sure. Yeah, a lot of us felt it. I didn't feel it. I'm on top of a mountain in Pennsylvania, and that's where I was at the time. So I didn't feel anything. But my dad was in New Jersey at the time, like 5 miles from where, the epicenter, they call it, was. And he felt it. He was fixing something in his fiance's bathroom, and everything just completely went haywire.
Here it is. There are no plates that rub against each other. There is no such thing as tectonics. There is no such thing as tectonics. That's correct. But if you remove that H there is 1,000% a such thing as tectonic plates. For sure. 100%.
So it quaked. There did quake. But it wasn't caused by the eclipse, which is what a lot of people are trying to make me believe. It wasn't.
His audio's out of phase or something.
Tectonic plate that run up against each other, and sometimes they do this, and sometimes they do this, and when they do this, the lava comes up, and we have an earthquake. No. So what happened was, and I kind of thought about this at the time, and I did a car video, if you guys remember. I don't know if you saw that. I only posted those on Telegram. But I did a car video at the time, and I said, we know it's not an earthquake, because the only non-man-made earthquakes that could echo. What? Did that sound? Am I echoing? Seriously?
No, right now. You went out of phase earlier.
Change that. Must have been naturally occurring. And he shakes the earth. That's the only non-man-made earthquake that exists. There's nothing else that just randomly happens, that is an earthquake. That's not a thing. Those aren't things. The reason why most earthquakes happen in certain areas, I don't know if you guys know this or not, especially like California, they say, oh, it sits on a fault line. No, it doesn't. There is no fault line. It's not a thing. It's just a lie. They lie about that. The reason why so many happen in California, San Andreas Fault, remember the movie? San Andreas?
I wish you would explain all other geothermal activities.
Or something. And it's about this fault.
What's a volcano? The deep state with a pump down there pumping out lava?
And of course, they slap us in the face with it in Hollywood all the time, right? Making movies about fault. Get out of here already. Come on. They do it every single time. Every time they do it in Hollywood. There's no San Andreas.
Maybe the Earth was just hungry for more babies because the cabal's controlling it, so they're feeding it from babies from the tunnel, and that was just tummy rumbling.
Fault line. There's a place called San Andreas. There's no fault line, and it certainly doesn't cause earthquakes. All of those earthquakes that you feel out in California, I'm not denying that they happen.
They have fault lines that open up, and they're just big ass fucking cracks in the earth. Where did that come from?
Of course, the Earth is moving, but that's because
the Earth has wrinkles.
California is a hotbed for tunnels for all sorts of purposes: human trafficking, child trafficking, sex trafficking.
Why would tunnels, if there's no such thing as a fault line, why would tunnels cause stuff to rumble?
It is right on the coast, and from there, if you were to dig a tunnel from California to Mexico, you're gone. They are gone. You get in that tunnel, you'll never see them again. Where do you think 50,000 kids a month go? Now those numbers have fallen big time.
those numbers were never true. Big time.
That's what it was for the last several years. 50,000 up here, and they're never found. So all those shakes that you feel out there was not necessarily the blowing up of tunnels to destroy the tunnels, but the building of them. In order to get a tunnel built and done, you have to blast.
That's the
you
building.
Say, you know, it looks like it's a good place to put a tunnel here. Why don't we just think of it and it'll happen? No, you can't just think it and it happens. You have to construct it. And you also have to do it covertly. And there's also times while you're building those tunnels that bad things happen and they collapse. And then the earth shakes. You ever hear of rolling quakes? How it'll start in one location and go all the way several miles all the way down. Those are big dynamite blasts all the way down to build up these tunnel systems.
Surely
guys,
not.
Well, not you guys, but when the public learns of these tunnel systems.
A rolling earthquake is like two plates. Instead of hitting like this and one goes up, one goes down, they hit, they whatever. It's plates that come in like this. So if they come in like this, they're going to hit up here and they're going to roll down across hundreds, thousands of miles.
And the truth about them, for the very first time, they're
50,000 a month. He's actually off. So they believe 800,000 kids in America go missing every year. This is based on a figure that says that these kids are reported missing a year. So a reported missing can be anything from like literally, they tell you when you're in custody court, if your husband doesn't show up for the drop on time with your kid, report it, right? Get a record. If your kid goes missing from the playground and you tell the officer that's at the park and he calls it in and then you find him 5 minutes later, report it. If a 17-year-old runs away from home to live with her grandma, you got to report it. It's every truancy officers reporting, kids not at school. It's every report you could possibly imagine about a kid not where their parents think they are. So even the Center for Missing and Exploited Children estimates that like 97 or 98% of those cases are misreported, right? They're not missing kids that just fucking disappeared and never saw a sign of them. And then what's left, like out of that 3%, only 0.1% are kids kidnapped by a stranger. The rest of them are like kids ran away from home and they're just not seen again, right? They left a note and they ran away. Or they went to live with their dad and nobody knows where their dad is because he moved to Mexico 3 years ago. Or they just went to live on their own. Like, it's 0.1% of the 3% that's left over. It's such a small number. Should it be zero? Absolutely. We should do everything we could possibly do to get it to zero. But running around saying it's 800,000 a year, which would be 66,666.66 a month, is just ridiculous.
There will be so much backlash that it's going to be hard to. Remember that quote by Q? They won't be able to walk down the streets.
I think he was talking about Phil when he said that. Phil won't be able to walk down the street.
Tunnel systems are actually earthquakes. You think you're mad now?
That was the intel.
Even if I started to back up now, it's going to be weird. It doesn't matter sometimes. So it was 27. I looked into this a little bit and I asked a lot of questions over the weekend, and I got the answer I was looking for. And again, I kind of forgot about my kids' practice, my son's baseball practice earlier today. So I didn't put together a presentation like I wanted to, but I will put that presentation together and I'll briefly go over it on the next live. It's probably a good point for me to say, I'm going to go live this week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. So today's Monday, obviously. And I'm telling the truth about that.
Oh, by the way, I forgot to tell you guys this week. So I'm going to be hard pressed to do a show every day this week. We're getting ready at my other job. We're getting ready for like the big kickoff. Everything's starting. Everything's happening. And it's also supposed to be raining off and on all fucking week. And I've got like outdoor stuff to do. So I'm going to have to work around the rain. So I might not be here every day. But I am going to be ordering parts for the One Wheel and probably making some videos on the One Wheel for like TikTok and my other YouTube channel. So if you want to check out with those and see if I'm around, that'd be great. But I probably won't be able to live stream 7 days a week. I'm just going to have to lose the money we would make from advertising and donations and make it up somewhere else. I might have to work around the rain. I got to mow, weed eat, and do some outdoor stuff, get rid of a pile of leaves, cut up some metal. I have a bunch of shit I got to do, and I don't want to do it in the rain. So I'm going to be working around the rain all week.
And Wednesday is in 2 days. So I'm going to go live Wednesday night as well. And then I'm also going to go live again on Friday. That one might be moved to Saturday. I doubt it, but there'll be 3 lives this week. On the next live, I'm going to go over just a brief presentation about what happened on Friday. And this is, I guess, the main intel of the night. I kind of assumed this was the case when I did my car video on Friday. That, for there to be a 4.8 quake on the East Coast, that is a massive explosion. Again, if you rule that there are no fault lines, tectonics, and all the lies, and you figure out, well, what could actually cause something that shook the earth so much that we see things falling off the walls and we feel it. Any of you that have been in a California type earthquake that was like 6, 7, whatever, it lasts for a little while. It's like a rolling quake, right? This one in Jersey.
I'll try. I kind of abandoned, like, after everything happened with my mom and dad and stuff. I haven't really been on TikTok, but I need to use it. That's where a lot of people are, and hopefully I can get them to the live stream from there.
It was really, really brief.
I haven't been good about it.
It shook, and then it stopped. Just like that. That was an explosion. And let me tell you what they were doing. There was a massive tunnel system that originates on the coastline of New Jersey that goes to Bermuda, underwater.
Oh my goodness.
Bermuda, and then jets out to Florida, connects to Florida.
Bermuda, Bahama. Come on, little 14-year-old mama. You've never, I'm telling you, they put it right in your face. Bermuda, Bahama. Come here, leave your mama, child. They put it right in your face all the time.
And it goes from Florida to Mexico, different parts of Mexico, actually. It's not just like a one way that you could go to Jersey to Bermuda to Florida to Mexico, and those are only the destinations you could go to. When you get to Florida, the tunnel system's flowing from Florida underneath the Gulf to go to Mexico and to go to the other islands.
He knows most of this is lies.
The main reason,
I think there's probably some stupid stuff he believes. Maybe he believes JFK Jr. was assassinated or attempted assassination. He's still alive. That might be something retarded he believes. But most of the stuff that he gets intel on, he's making up. He's making it up.
On the East Coast was to get to Florida, because Florida is these branching of tunnel systems. You could go to so many different ways. Florida is the hotbed. Anybody remember all of the earthquakes and the earth shaking inexplicably in Florida, like last year, I think it was, the end of 2022, maybe beginning of 2023? Remember all that? Yep. And now it's happening on the East Coast too. There was a massive tunnel system that went from the upper East Coast to New Jersey.
Oh my
area.
goodness.
And the reason why New Jersey makes sense is because it's not in New York. Let me say that again. The reason why New Jersey makes sense is because it's not in New York. Because what people will do is they'll snatch up your kid in New York, they'll drive across state lines to Jersey, and they'll get into that tunnel system and never to be seen again. And everybody's looking around in New York, missing this one, missing that one. New York. It's actually in Jersey. And by the way, if you weren't quick enough, it's in Florida. And by the way, by the time you start looking there, it's gone. That was a major shutdown tunnel system that happened on Friday. And helicopters at the Allentown Bethlehem Airport, which was only, I think it was like 50 some miles from the epicenter of Jersey. And they're also, and that's only it's probably about the same distance from me, about 50, 60 miles from where I am in Pennsylvania. We never get military aircraft like that. Never. And that all happened at the same time that the earthquake was happening. So you have high level military activity taking
right there.
The dumb system. It's not, I don't even want to call it a dumb system. Deep underground military tunnels, but it's more.
He forgot how to spell dumb. He forgot how to spell. I don't want to call it dumb. Dumb stands for deep underground military funnels. That doesn't make sense.
More of a cabal, pedophilia, sex trafficking, human trafficking system. And certain entrances still exist. Most of which have been shut down. But we've been hearing the blasts and we've been feeling the shakes for a long time. And this one on the East Coast was a very, very important one. Very, very important one. Because it shuts down the entire East Coast.
To be fair, I have heard reports that that's what Phil calls foreplay, is tuck you in with a nice little bedtime story. Now that was probably from his past. I'm like Nick Alvear. I don't see him pedoing at the moment. A lot of flexibility here. And they lived happily ever after. Let's get freaky.
From getting down south and into Mexico. And once you're in Mexico or once you're in any of the islands in the Caribbean, you're gone. You could get to Russia in the blink of an eye from there, because there's nothing down there. And people down there, they'll just take money and they'll take the buyout. This always had to do with the kids. This always had to do with saving our children from going missing, saving our children from being tortured, raped, sold, killed, used. This is what this operation, the main point of this operation always was about. And this stuff has been happening now for years. Remember all the underground fires that we were seeing in D.C.? Those tunnels in D.C. connected to the main tunnel that was on the East Coast, which was in Jersey. And once they took kids out of D.C., they would fly them up to, not fly them, but they would take them on the ground to Jersey, boom, right down south, Bermuda, Florida, Mexico, gone forever. I know it's crazy. I know it sounds crazy to think, but this happens every single day underneath your feet. And you don't even know it. Where do you think the kids go? Where do you think the 50,000?
Anywhere you have a mountain range, you have a fault line, because that's how mountains are made, right? It's two plates that one shifted. Either they hit each other and they both shifted up, or two of them. So the Appalachian Mountains is going to be, it runs all the way up through Maine into fucking Canada.
In a month that go missing. Where do you think they go? You think that they're put on aircraft and taken out of the country? No. How could you get rid of 50,000 kids a month? Just to never be seen again.
We don't.
How could you do that? Without some sort of elaborate system. That's what happened Friday. But look at the Eclipse. Look at the Eclipse. Don't look at the military aircraft in Allentown. Look at the D&E, whatever. There were massive things of earthquakes because of the Eclipse. What? You sound like you're an idiot when you say something like that. Massive earthquakes. On my legal bullshit, Nick Alvear, the case against Nick Alvear, Nick has filed a motion to dismiss, which is doomed. Nick lied to his attorneys, apparently, because his attorneys didn't even know that Nick advertised the defamation in Pennsylvania. So his attorneys made an argument. Will Burr did a great job of covering the motion to dismiss the other night.
Oh, God. Stop
I'll repost it for you on Telegram if you're interested in the case. But
you shouldn't
apparently
have.
Nick didn't tell his attorneys that he advertised for the film. And
that'll get the melon heads fucking squirming
in Pennsylvania, because one of their main arguments to dismiss the case was that Pennsylvania has no jurisdiction over Nick as a Tennessee resident. That's just not true. It's just not true at all. Nick paid for billboards in my hometown. Nick paid for billboards at the airport. Nick paid for mobile billboards. And Nick also paid for an airplane to fly hundreds of miles overhead of Lackawanna and Luzerne County. So his motion's doomed. That case will proceed. This type of argument, motion to dismiss, doesn't even actually take place until summary judgment. Once you get sued, you have to defend yourself, unless it's a frivolous lawsuit. There's nothing frivolous about this. He said certain things. I sued. That's it. That's not frivolous. I'm not suing him frivolously. So what he would have had to do was the equivalent of what I did against Pebbles Flintstone, if you remember, Christina McCaslin in the taco stand case, when this was the hair salon case, salon touche, whatever it was. I filed an anti-slap case against her, calling her case frivolous. That'll be ruled on, I think, sometime this month, actually. So that's what Nick is attempting to do.
No, it's not real. I don't know if you've heard the melons. The fruit chat, the fruit salad has said that it's not a real case. Pebbles is working for you, Phil. I forgot to tell you, she's on the payroll.
He's doing it out of order. There is no anti-slap.
I handle the payroll, and I hired her. I forgot to tell you.
In Pennsylvania. And then, by the way, I don't know if you guys know this or not, but he's holding a fundraiser for his legal fees, which is fine. You know, I did that against the Times to start with, too, when I had no money. So apparently Nick doesn't have the money to defend. I took a look at the link. Let's see what's that now, actually. I'm just curious. Email that he sent out.
By the way, he's so goddamn dumb that he made the link givesendgo.com/fuckphil. Like, again, are we going to have trouble? Are we going to have trouble with proving actual malice in court? That's the hurdle, right? You have to have clear and convincing evidence of actual malice. Are they going to lose? Are they going to figure out actual malice?
It's also defamatory. You just can't get out of his own way. So it's been up now for 4 or 5 days, and it's raised $4,132. That's about 10 hours of legal work. Uh-oh. 10 hours. I can make Nick's attorneys do 10 hours worth of work in one day. So, I don't know. But good luck, Nick. You need it. I put in a prayer request on Gives and Go. What's really going to hurt, though, is when Alpha gets brought into the suit, because that's gonna hurt a lot. And, you know, I hope people keep donating, because this man obviously doesn't have any money. Are my eyes green? Yes, my eyes are very green. This guy doesn't have money to defend against me, and I have a lot of money to keep the suit going for a very long time. So, you know, we're proceeding. Motion to dismiss will get dismissed.
I can't believe anybody listens to
because he gave us that
for us. As many dates as he's missed, and this will never happen. There'll be no midterms. I mean, there's going to be a red wave. I mean, I knew there wasn't going to be midterms because I was watching it with the military intelligence agents.
So amend our complaint.
Like, just crazy shit.
That's also going to, my boys. Good luck. Say no significance whatsoever. The NSA is still a very important organization, but there is many other things that are going on that make that appointment of the NSA irrelevant. I'm being coy, obviously, but tonight's live is called Eclipse. You capitalize the C. C equals 3 in gematria. Command, control, communications. This is all military operations. Was something triggered? Okay, I'm still here.
Oh,
can't see me.
Camera died.
Triggered today. That to do with letter C, obviously. So you're on the right track, but no, there's nothing triggered today by the eclipse or during the eclipse.
That is kind of savage that he put in a prayer.
Looking that way, you'll probably find it. Lisa Fox. I feel your shirt is green supreme. 97 gematria. Drop 97. Partly states game theory. 10 days of darkness, not darkness. And the drop is dated November 5th. Possibly Supreme Court decision. Is this a com? Well, the Supreme on my shirt definitely has to do with the Supreme Court. And I also like the brand. I mean, it's like boosh. You know what I mean? So pretend I didn't do that. That was so stupid. Keep looking that way. At least do something like that again. Boosh. You know what I mean? So well, the Supreme on my shirt definitely has to do with the Supreme Court. And I also like the brand. I mean, it's like boosh. You know what I mean? So pretend I didn't.
It's boosh.
Do that. That was so stupid. That was really dumb. Never do something like that again. Never. Wow. Boosh. So yeah. So keep looking that way, Lisa. You're both on something. Both you and Sarah. Have you ever been called by the name Michael? You know, I have to think about that. I don't remember. There was one time that maybe, but I can't remember what the alias was. I'll think about that. 98C. So
there was one mission. I mean, there's a thing that I can't tell you. Bougie is a word. I've never heard anybody say bouge.
$15 Rumble Rant. March Madness appears in multiple drops and ends tonight. Super Gematria 118. Great Reset overnight. The Matrix. The Storm 41. We have it all. Guy Fawkes. Is March Madness relevant? I like how you connected all that, and that's good, but no. Not It's the Constitution. For popular election of U.S. senators was ratified on 4/8/1913. Did anything occur today relate to your command? To your comment that was made about senators being eliminated? Yeah, but I can't tell you about it, which sucks. Yeah, so I mean, let me give you a generic version, which I think a lot of you already know this, but something like 90% of Congress is corrupt, and that's senators and congressmen, White House officials. Well, Elon is a real person. Oh, you're saying is he a white hat entity? Is he on our side, or is he just a normal person? No, Elon is a big time white hat for sure. He wasn't always, but he was kind of recruited to help in certain.
Elon's a white hat. Got it.
Other members of the Q team have vast knowledge of all things, and then others don't. So I think whoever answered that question, you guys sometimes think of Q as this one person entity, and it's not. So whoever answered that question definitely answered the question out of place, and they shouldn't have. Or if they did know, perhaps they didn't want to get too deep into the flat earth thing just yet. But I can't answer for that person. Sarah Hops again. Today you posted an emoji of a duck. Back on February 26th, you said 2 guys went to a bar and the third one ducks. Were you referencing SCOTUS, bar, last SCOTUS? Yes, I was. I wish I could do that emoji in real life now.
Oh, I did? Oh, yeah, I did mean that. I did post that? I did mean that.
That was a distraction. Look, you're not there. Should work. bet you laughed. I bet you did. There's one lady out there saying, I didn't laugh. You're a grifter. She's out there. That also explains why there's so many stars in the sky. They're all the people that used to be on Earth. You know there's more stars in the sky than there are grains of sand on Earth? Can you even fathom a number that high? Talk about today being the first day of the age of Sagittarius. Yeah, so today marks the first day of a new great year. Yesterday ended the last great year. A great year is 2000.
Did he just say stars are dead people?
Today being the first day of the age of Sagittarius. Yeah, so today marks the first day of a new great year. Yesterday ended the last great year. A great year is 2,100 something years, I believe. We are at our third great year. Yours is about 6,000 years old. So we're roughly about our third great year right now. April is always supposed to be the start of the year. The cabal added in 2 months that don't belong. April is the start of the year. It's not January. It's April. They mess with our calendar and our cycle to throw us off. They don't want us to be in tune with the earth, in tune with the ether, in tune with ourselves, our mind, and the energy.
If the cabal added in 2 months, and that's why April's not the start of the year, why is April the 4th month?
That God has all around us at all times. Don't want that. What does my hat say? It says tap house. But it's not a little funny, isn't it?
Typhus.
98 the Q say the earth is not flat for the same reason they said JFK Jr. was not alive. Not to lose followers and also give ammunition to the cabal. Yes. Along those lines. I don't say exactly that, but yes. Which makes perfect sense. I mean, be careful what you say, because imagine Q or someone from the Q group saying, yeah, the earth's flat. You know how many people would have lost interest right away? How much
I got to sped up just because I want to get out of here. I still got to hit the treadmill and go.
Cognitive dissonance, for those of you that don't know, is the agency's work. There's no reason, because I looked into the account and I need to know. So I like the things that they post, and a lot of the things that they post make sense, but it's not somebody that would be involved with like a Snowden thing or anything like that, or would be dropping clues to give you hints as to what's actually going on that your eyes can't see. It's also possible that that is a lens reflection of the camera. Depends what kind of camera it is, what angle it's being held at, and another thing. So it just depends. Depends on a bunch of things. It's also possible that what we're seeing are multiple suns. I saw the videos that you're probably talking about. I saw them today, and I saw them many times before. It's also possible that that is a lens reflection of the camera. Depends what kind of camera it is, what angle it's being held at, and another thing. So it just depends. Depends on a bunch of things that we don't really know the answers to.
That does make sense, though.
Did Obama help? Did he disappear? No.
I've seen at least 4 suns.
Someone else. Did he strike on a bird? Just so you guys know.
I have
you seen Tesla's original papers? I haven't seen the original papers, but I've seen what's on the original papers. Maybe not all of them, but a portion of it. So yes and no to that question. I have a friend who lives close to where the earthquake, quote, was in New Jersey. She said that the Johnson and Merck's live nearby. Tunnels. Yes, tunnels. That's what it is. So there's a couple different reasons for earthquakes, and most of the reasons have to do with some sort of blasts that are happening and man-made. The big ones that you feel in California are clearing the way to put tunnels in. The Haiti one, remember the Haiti one not too long ago? Tunnel. They were putting a tunnel in.
Okay.
Now the one that happened in New Jersey was destroyed the tunnel. It's already there. So the reason why it was only 4.8 as opposed to like 6 or 7 or whatever is because when you're blasting to put one in, the earth is like really moving around. It's caving in on itself, right? When you're eliminating a tunnel, there's all sorts of concrete and everything underneath the earth that has already been built. So when the blast occurs, it kind of insulates the blast, and you only get like a 4 something earthquake because the blast isn't as amplified as it would be if there were nothing there, right? It
got it. That makes sense.
Right through.
I got
it's a
you.
much stronger earthquake. If there's stuff there like rebar and concrete and whatever else they use to make these tunnels, that deadens it, and the earth doesn't cave in as much because there's stuff in those tunnels for it to cave in on.
Got it.
That's why it's a lesser quake. So answer your questions, yes. Is the IRS closed? Is it
bigger quakes when they're big in tunnels, when they're building tunnels? Smaller quakes when they're destroying them? I can't speak.
States don't affect. I'm not going to give you any advice on that. I do know for a long time now that, and I've said this many times, that the IRS is only operating currently as part of the U.S. Treasury, not as part of the Internal Revenue Service. So I'm not going to tell you what to do with your taxes or not to do with your taxes. What I could tell you though is to get your wealth out of the fiat dollar and into precious metals. And I'm saying this for a long time, and now you're seeing the market move, and you're seeing it move just in time for the conclusion of this whole thing in 2024. So, goldquiz.com. I did a little.
He knew the whole time it was going to end in 2024.
I'll post that video yet again on Telegram. I'll also post a video in the comments. I'm sorry, in the description of this video, so you can watch it. The one that I did a couple days ago. And I'm going to live now because I'm tired and my voice hurts. And I bit my tongue earlier and live and hurts. So I want to pay a little bit of attention to my tongue. It deserves me. Thank you guys for tuning in. Love you guys. Thank you for proving that no matter what somebody does to me, defamatory, I'm still here. I'm still number one, and there's nothing anyone can do about it until I say so. Not until they say so. Until I
don't even think he's number one.
Decide that I'm no longer number one.
His numbers are all made up, but I mean, even judging by the fucking like top Rumble streams this week, he's not number one.
You guys, and I love you guys for it, and I'll always love you guys for it. You've changed my life, and I can only hope that I could change your life a fraction of.
He had about 50,000 people watching him, though. You know, he lied his whole way through like 10,000 and up, but now he's legitimately got like 50,000 people watching him, but he has to say like 33 million or whatever.
Thank you guys. Love you. Thanks for tuning in. I'll see you Wednesday night. New topic, new intel, hopefully, and we'll see you then. Love you guys. Have a good night.
Love you guys. Good night. That's Phil Godlewski, everybody. There you go. Deep State Phil. Thank you guys for joining us. It's the same thing. Sometimes something big comes up about Phil and it's fun to, somebody trolled him or laughed at him or whatever. It's fun to laugh at. Most of the times it's just the same thing and just making shit up. A lot of times his followers make shit up. Like, oh, I saw you were wearing a green shirt and green is the color of luck. And luck, if you put it in gematria, is 37. If you look up 1937, William Henry Howard Taffy was born. He invented saltwater taffy, and saltwater's near the ocean, and the earthquake occurred on the East Coast. What's a coast to? An ocean. So you were telling us about the earthquake, right? Oh yeah, that's what I meant. Yeah, that's what I was trying to get across to you was that earthquake's coming, guys. Yeah. That's why I was wearing green. Has nothing to do with St. Patrick's Day. Thank you, guys. Love you. See ya. Bye. I'm out. Support the show. We're offline at coldbeer.fund. I got a couple things to do and get home. I will see you all I'll see you sometime this week. Check my TikTok. Check Cold Beer Creations. I'll probably be putting shorts up because I've got a lot of work to get done this week at my other job. So we'll see you guys on the next one. Have a good night. Don't do anything Phil would do because he's probably just making it up. We'll see you guys. Have a good night.
But I can tell you this about if this douchebag happens to see this particular show, you
hit the like button. That's right. Share the link, whatever you got to do.
On this planet.
I got to go. Please consider supporting the show. This is going to be a short week where I'm not going to be able to do the normal streams I do where we get the normal donations, ad revenue, support, whatever. If you want to support the show, go to coldbeer.fund, F-U-N-D, and check out my other channels or my TikTok or YouTube Shorts or whatever, because I will be posting there, hopefully. I always say that, and I'm really bad about it, especially when I get, like, in the zone, like, working on some shit. But I've got to start making more content.
Get lit, get the place in them beds, you know that stage is set. You better buckle up, cause you ain't seen none yet. And they say that I'm a lunatic. Well, listen, bitch, I came equipped with a quick...
Bird took down his video, made it private. Oh, it's back.
There's one simple sugar hack.
Good, we can go through and watch all the trolling happening.
To profit off of gossip, worshiping drums, cock and begging.
I'm excited. He had like 150 viewers, and 100 of them were us talking shit to him.
Like he's King Kong, starving for attention. I'ma make your...
And he's suing me. Thank God.
What's that thirst? Baby eating lizard people, alien sex. What's next? Trump in a dress, fucking Flynn on his desk. A retard in a vest, climbing up 5G towers. Cause you told him if he did, he'd get fucking superpowers. Here we go, I think I started some shit.
Have a good night, guys. I got to get on the treadmill and get home. Oh, shit. My bad. See you guys.